I'm Manda Factor. Well, Amazon now confirms mass layoffs starting today. Here's what we know from KIRO Newsradio's Jillian Raftery.
Reuters was the first to report sweeping layoffs of as many as 16,000 last week, and that's the number being released by Beth Galletti, Senior Vice President of People Experience at Amazon. She says this goes back to decisions last October to, quote, strengthen our organization by reducing layers, increasing ownership, and removing bureaucracy. Galletti says Amazon is in a strong position and still hiring and investing in areas of strategic importance. For those who are being let go, most U.S.-based employees will get 90 days to look for a new job to stay at Amazon. For those who don't get rehired or opt out, they say other support like severance pay and outplacement services are available. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
It's not clear how many of those cuts will be in Washington, but economists say it is a gut punch for Western Washington. Jeff Schulman is a professor at the UW's Foster School of Business, and he spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
This is kind of the scariest time economically for the Seattle region since the Great Recession in 2009.
This round of layoffs comes after Amazon cut 14,000 positions last October. That includes more than 2,300 corporate roles here in the Seattle area. Seattle-based travel company Expedia Group is also cutting about 10% of its technology team. Employees started posting about the layoffs on LinkedIn this week. A company spokesperson said Expedia is trying to simplify its structure and trim layers of management. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, the spokesperson did not say how many people still work there. Hundreds of people rallied outside the Tacoma Municipal Building yesterday afternoon. They gathered to protest the Northwest Ice Processing Center and called for the agency to leave Tacoma. Crowds packed Market Street starting around 4 in the afternoon, blocking traffic as they marched with signs. Many shouted chants including "No justice, no peace" as they circled the building. The News Tribune reports the demonstration stretched across several blocks, but it did stay peaceful. Yesterday, the King County Council unanimously passed a motion calling on Congress to ensure any funding bill for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security includes meaningful and significant guardrails. Here's Councilmember Teresa Mosqueda.
Here in Martin Luther King County, we believe in welcoming our neighbors, in keeping families together. We believe in the strength that comes from the deep interconnectedness of our communities, and we know that immigrants make this county stronger.
More and more local and state governments are pressuring Congress to use their power of the purse to put greater controls on ICE and border agents. A 20-year-old man is recovering from gunshot wounds, and Seattle police are looking for multiple shooters following an early morning shooting in North Seattle yesterday. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Police were called to 98th and Aurora just before 1 a.m. 911 callers reporting multiple rounds fired and one man injured. SPD Detective Eric Munoz explains.
Multiple suspects shot at the victim while he was sitting inside of his car. We don't have any motive or understanding of the shooting yet. Those circumstances are under investigation.
The suspects fled before police arrived. The victim is listed in critical condition. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A Tacoma man will spend more than 5 years in prison for helping move drugs across the Pacific Northwest. Federal prosecutors announced the sentence, saying 22-year-old Rogelio Pena was part of a larger drug trafficking group. A press release says he delivered drugs, held keys to a storage area, and used rental cars to move shipments north from L.A. Pena was one of 13 people indicted after an 18-month wiretap investigation. A proposal in Olympia would let the state's Criminal Justice Training Commission investigate and potentially oust sheriffs and police chiefs. Walla Walla Sheriff Mark Kreider blasted the bill as unconstitutional on the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM. He says voters can recall sheriffs or elect someone else if they don't like them.
We're trying to fix a problem that doesn't exist.
Prime sponsor, Senator John Lovick, says the bill is about holding police leaders accountable. The Senate Law and Justice Committee passed the bill and has referred it to Ways and Means. And it's the last season for the legendary radio voice of the Mariners.
There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
Rick Riz is retiring after the 2026 season. He has spent 40 years on live baseball play-by-play. He was originally hired by the Mariners in 1983 and paired with Hall of Fame broadcaster Dave Niehaus. Riz took a brief hiatus before returning in 1995. He's been a fixture for Seattle baseball fans ever since. 5:13, we have some wet roads this morning. Let's get to an update on traffic. Chris Sullivan, good morning.
Good morning, Amanda. It's not too bad out there. The weather is not really impacting us so far, and it's light in terms of our volume. Overall, we've got 35-minute trips between most of our primary commuting routes. That's what it's got from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. That's what we have from Federal Way to Seattle. Y'all up to Renton's running a little over 35 with a little bit of action at the north end. Renton to Bellevue's only 15 minutes. The Lake Bridges are quiet. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems for you guys. So we're off to a pretty good start on this Wednesday morning. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Well, our forecast, it is Wednesday. As we mentioned, once it starts raining on Wednesday, it's not going to stop for a while. We have showers in the forecast today, 51 the high, pretty much the same for tomorrow. Might see more steady rain tomorrow morning. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, mix of sun breaks and showers with highs into the mid-50s for Friday and the weekend. Right now in Seattle, mostly cloudy, just a little bit drippy and 44 degrees. Coming up, G. Scott explains why he thinks attending the Super Bowl in person is overrated. That's next on Seattle's Morning News.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Holy smokes!
For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs!
KIRO Newsradio congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
The modern-day Bambino, Cal Raleigh.
We can't wait. From KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
You know what? Let's throw a party this year for the big game.
Hey, we can invite our friends over, and all take turns yelling at the TV during the game.
But first, we should get a new TV.
Yeah, like one of the top-rated brands, Samsung, LG, or Sony.
Okay, so I'll start shopping on the internet, then head over to the Warehouse Club to compare.
But if that's all we do, we'll be sorry.
Why?
Because the best deals on those top-rated TVs are at video only, not online or at the club.
Video only has better deals?
Yep. We could save up to $500 if we shop smart.
Then we could afford a larger model and really impress our friends.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Joining us from the G and Ursula Show and the Reset Podcast, G. Scott is here this morning. G, we are gearing up for the Super Bowl. A lot of people want to go.
Yeah, they do want to go to the big game. And right now, you might see a $1,200 round trip ticket for a 2-hour flight down to San Francisco. You know, I was reading up here, shout out to the Seattle Times, because they had a nice little write-up about this, and they're basically telling people what you should and should not do. Here we go through it. Basically, they're saying there's a Super Bowl travel rush right now, and fans right now in Seattle area are booking their flights fast. As a matter of fact, Delta Airlines has added extra flights. Alaska Airlines, 16, 17 more flights. I mean, it's crazy. Sounds generous, right? Yeah, but prices keep going up because, you know, and by the way, the prices aren't going up because the planes became more expensive this week. Prices are going up because excitement makes people emotional. Any of you guys ever emotionally spend? Any of you guys ever at the grocery store at Safeway? And when you're standing right there getting ready to check out, there's the gum and all the candies right there. And then the little Charlies of the world. Mom, Dad, can I have some candy?
The impulse buys.
The impulse buy is sitting right there. So here is my advice to you. Well, according to the Times, book now because we know if you wait too long, you will get punished. But if you jump too fast, you could possibly overpay. Either way, the house always wins. The airlines always wins. And let this be a perfect example. If that's how America works. When demand spikes, all fairness goes out the window.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. So I made it sound like that right there. But now y'all ready for G's advice?
I am ready.
Let me tell you what you should be doing. If I were you, I would bypass the travel on the airplanes.
Okay.
I would get in the vehicle and go 12, 13 hours by car down to San Francisco. Hold on, I'm not done. Then, instead of staying close to the stadium or San Francisco, I'd kind of stay about 45 minutes out and stay at one of those budget hotels with the family. Then I'd hang out. I'd go down maybe Wednesday and hang out all the festivities, go close to the stadium, take pictures. There's all kinds of things that you could do, hang out with the family. And then when it's game time, I would watch the game somewhere locally on TV because if there's one thing that I do know, Super Bowls are made for TV viewing. The game itself is kind of underwhelming. The only thing the game is for is so you can tell Chris Sullivan, I was there. If that's the case, have somebody take a picture, and you can Photoshop you and the family in there, and you can voila and put it for the gram. Is that the Tasmanian devil? Is that how I just came and did that topic? I mean, I'm just telling you. I used to be broke. I know how to be broke. And that's how you do it. If I'm right now, I would not be. I mean, just think about this. A family of 4 trying to fly down to San Francisco. What we doing? Come on, Lois. Go ahead. Go to get into a rental car. Minivan. By the way, minivans are fun. Get a minivan. Everybody in the family get in there. And you drive down. And you will have more memories that way than doing 3-4 tickets on an airline. What we doing by?
But if you're spending $56,000 on a single seat at the Super Bowl, does it really matter if you're paying an extra $750 on a, coach seat on a Alaska Airlines flight?
Let me tell you something, Charlie.
Yeah. $56,000.
If I got $5 on my desk and you walk by and you take my $5, you see what I'm saying?
I would never take your $5.
But if you did take my $5, it would matter because I need that $5.
Yeah.
Right? And so this whole idea, I'm telling you, get these planes. I think it would be more fun if you just get in the car, drive down. It's beautiful anyways. It's a great drive down there. It's a great opportunity. All you do is listen to Sully, text in to Sullivan, and be like, hey, Sully, what's my plan? Boom, you take I-5. Done.
Yeah. I think the most shocking statement from you, though, G, was minivans are fun. I think you just said that.
Wait. Minivans are fun for road trips. No, come on now. Now, I know what they look like. Forget what they look like. They are awesome for road trips. You're rolling now. If you got money like Charlie, then you get you a Sprinter van. If you got money like that. But I just think I would be curious. Matter of fact, I'm going to ask about this on my show.
Okay.
I'm going to ask, are there going to be any families and people that just plan to just drive down? I think, though, whoever you are, you will have way more memories that way. It'll be way more fun. And more importantly, it'll be way cheaper.
I'll look at our forecast. We are seeing some showers in spots this morning. 51 our high for today with scattered showers throughout the day. For tomorrow, look for rain early on, then tapering off to showers in 52. We're going to see a mix of showers and sun breaks right on through the weekend with highs into the mid-50s. Right now it is cloudy, a little bit drizzly, and 44. Coming up, mass layoffs confirmed at Amazon, and KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch with a look at one bill in Olympia that could drastically change the work week. That's coming up here on Seattle's Morning News.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE. Go to k2visionrle.com and schedule a free Zoom consultation today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Permanently.
For seniors, the new year is a good time to reassess finances. If you're struggling with bills, our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be a great way to ease your stress.
Seniors tell me all the time, we love our home, we'd love to stay here, but we just can't afford it anymore. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off your debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let your home work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me. Never a sales pitch and never an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage experts, the VA loan and debt consolidation experts too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I want to do.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
File your taxes for free with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. File on your own in the Credit Karma app by February 28th. Valid for those who didn't file with TurboTax last year.
It's a new year, which means a new opportunity to grow your business. WaFd Bank Business Checking can help you hit the ground running. Our accounts are designed to help business owners like you manage cash flow, pay vendors, and keep operations running smoothly every day. Get access to digital tools like bill pay, mobile deposit, signer and non-signer debit cards, and the option to upgrade your account as your business grows. WaFd business bankers get to know you, so when you need help, we're there for you. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It is 5:31. Amazon is cutting another 16,000 jobs, as we hear from CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace.
That's on top of the 14,000 corporate employees the e-commerce giant laid off in October. Amazon is trimming its bureaucracy and investing more in artificial intelligence. University of Washington professor Jeff Schulman says it's been tough for tech workers lately.
As we see more and more companies engaging in larger and larger cuts, the search for another job after those cuts is taking longer and longer.
UPS says it will cut 30,000 jobs this year because it expects to deliver fewer packages for Amazon. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
We are still waiting to see how these job cuts will affect Washington. A KIRO Newsradio exclusive now. We have obtained a working draft of the income tax proposal Democratic lawmakers have been developing behind closed doors in Olympia. The bill would impose a 9.9% tax on income above $1 million starting in 2029. It will also override Initiative 2111, the income tax ban voters approved just 2 years ago. Both House and Senate Democrats confirmed the authenticity of the draft, but say it's a work in progress that could change significantly. Governor Ferguson's office says it's not their proposal, but didn't elaborate or dispute any of the specific provisions. The $1 million limit is set in statute, not the Constitution, meaning future lawmakers could lower it anytime they want. That's a big concern for Republicans. We have posted the full breakdown at mynorthwest.com. A mother and son found shot to death inside a home on the Key Peninsula. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office says the husband came home early yesterday afternoon and found his wife, his son, and their dog dead in a bedroom. Deputies say the son had stayed the night and struggled with addiction and mental health issues. They found a weapon and say they are not looking for anyone else. The city of Issaquah is going all in on the Seahawks trip to the Super Bowl. Mayor Mark Mullet just signed a proclamation renaming the city.
Issaquah is now 12 Issaquah. As a 20-year Seattle Seahawks season ticket holder, this is a special moment for me.
12 Issaquah from now through the big game. Mayor Mullet says the city has more Super Bowl-inspired surprises coming. It's 5:33. That's time for a check on traffic. And for that, we turn things over to Chris Sullivan.
And no surprises for us on the roads at this point. We are a little heavy up the Valley Freeway. Do have some brake lights out of the Auburn area and at the north end. So you're going to need about 40 minutes to go from Puyallup to Renton. Then Renton to Bellevue is 15. So you'll pick up the pace there. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems for you guys at this early hour. And then about a 35-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle. Lake bridges are great. Everett to Seattle, Everett to Bellevue, also about 35 minutes. We do have some snow in the mountains. So if you're heading over Snoqualmie Pass right now, we have traction tires required at this early hour. They made the change about 30 minutes ago, so be prepared if you're heading over the mountains. We have varying conditions today. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Our forecast, the dry streak is over. The showers are here, 51 the high for today. Tomorrow looks like showers early on. It'll become a more steady rain later in the day and 52. Overnight lows in the mid-40s, and then Friday right on through Sunday, look for showers at times, highs in the mid-50s. Right now in Seattle, cloudy, a little bit drizzly. It's 44 degrees.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO Newsradio.
It's now 5:35. Lawmakers in Olympia are considering a proposal to move the state from a standard 40-hour work week to a 32-hour work week. Sounds like a good idea for workers, but is it really? Here's KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Democratic Representative Sean Scott sponsored legislation to move Washington to the shorter work week, and here's why.
Americans work annually 125 more hours yearly than workers in Canada, 204 hours more annually than workers in Japan, 279 more annually than workers in the UK, and 470 hours more annually than people in Germany.
San Juan County moved to the shorter work week in 2023. Scott says it can serve as a model for the rest of the state.
Officials have reported an 18% decrease in sick calls, a 216% increase in people applying for job openings, and an 83% rate of workers who saw improved work-life balance as a result of an 8-hour reduction in the work week.
Ashley Fuston is with the Washington Association of State Employees.
Not only did it save the county $2 million without lowering any pay for the workers, but it resulted in significant employee morale boosts and a 28% reduction in employees leaving.
Most people we spoke with say they would be interested in a shorter work week and more free time with family and friends. But there are also skeptics, like Republican Representative Joel McIntyre.
I'm just wondering why this one-size-fits-all policy, why do we think this would work for the whole state when we have such a variety of different industries and working personalities?
And then there's the money. With a shorter work week, employers would have to pay overtime above 32 hours rather than 40, and sick and vacation time would be calculated based on the shorter week. All that sounds good, but there is concern workers could take home smaller paychecks. Republican Representative Alex Ibarra.
If you're an hourly employee and you're only working 32 hours, you'll make a lot less money because you're getting paid, let's say, $20 an hour for 40 hours. If this passes, you're going to be working 32 hours for $20 an hour.
Andrea Ray with the Washington Hospitality Association is among a group of business and industry leaders who thinks the shorter week is a bad idea.
We must respectfully oppose the proposal to reduce the standard work week and appreciate employers being able to set their own standards and culture. I know I personally find joy in my long hours and work.
Representative Scott says change is never easy.
The 40-hour week, which we kind of accept more or less as kind of standard, was just as contested when it was implemented 50 or 60 years ago. And so we might be looking back on this time as a time where we took a bold step forward for a happier workforce and a more productive workforce with a 32-hour week.
If the proposal comes up for a vote and passes, it would go into effect January 2028. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
It's now 5:37. Other things we're following this morning. A KIRO Newsradio exclusive. We obtained a working draft of the income tax proposal Democratic lawmakers have been developing behind closed doors in Olympia. The bill would impose a 9.9% tax on income above $1 million starting in 2029. If you missed it, we posted the full breakdown of that at mynorthwest.com. He has wowed Mariners fans for 40 years. Now Rick Riz, the voice of the Mariners, says this is his last season.
Goodbye baseball off the facing of the upper deck and left.
Now Rick Riz, the voice of the Mariners, he was there in 2004 calling Ichiro's all-time season hit record.
Swinging a ground ball, base it up the middle. There it is, number 258, a Major League record.
Ichiro paid homage to the broadcast legend when he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Each spring, my arm was already in shape, waiting for Mariners broadcaster Rick Riz to say, "Holy smoke! A laser beam strike from Ichiro!"
You can see more highlights at mynorthwest.com. Nurses at Seattle Children's Hospital will vote this week on a new contract. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglavin reports.
The Washington State Nurses Association says the tentative agreement was reached Friday after 9 months of bargaining. The new proposal includes 13 key changes, including workplace violence protections, increase of wages by March of 2028, and new technology protections. An online vote is expected from Thursday to Saturday.
A new bill in Olympia could boost pay for school board directors across Washington. It would raise daily pay from $50 to $100 with a yearly cap of $13,750. Lawmakers say it would be the first major change in nearly 40 years. The Seattle Times reports the bill also requires free financial training and lets directors get childcare costs reimbursed. The Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction requested those changes. National headlines on the way here on KIRO News Radio.
We are going to the Super Bowl.
It's time to eat, boys. Super Bowl, here we come.
Can you believe it?
We're just a really good football team that's tough and connected.
Welcome to the dark side.
Power of 12 is 1 is real.
Host City going up like it's our time.
All the 12s across the country and all the 12s across the globe.
You know how we do it.
The only place to hear Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO News Radio.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on most beds with base. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at the Sleep Number store today.
Big tax changes this year could mean a bigger refund, and Jackson Hewitt knows how to get you your biggest. You'll get $100 just to try us. That won't make you filthy rich, but definitely gas plus groceries rich. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back, which would make you low-key loaded. Or at least wealthy adjacent? Go with our trusted pros and get $100 to switch. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about football. It's exciting when Seattle fans shake the earth. You can even feel that energy on your 100-inch variable refresh QLED surround sound 7.1. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know that enjoying the game often involves alcohol. And the police know it too. Have fun, be responsible on game day, and pace yourself. If you feel sacked in the fourth quarter, get a designated driver to take you to your end zone. If you get carried away with too many Bloody Marys after too many Hail Marys, call for a timeout. You get the point. Be safe. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Watching the game in your blue and green jersey is a lot more fun than wearing an orange jumpsuit.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. You know, Dave, I love sport. You love sport. And I love sitting with coaches and hearing their game plan each and every week. What are the keys to a First Mark Insurance game plan?
It's a great question, Brock. I think there's really 3 keys to a great game plan with us. Number 1 is we want to make sure that our clients have the correct coverage for their unique specific needs. So that's number 1. Do you have the right coverage? Number 2, once we have the right coverage, are we getting that coverage at the most competitive price possible? And then last and not least would be, once we have the right coverage at the most competitive price, are we providing world-class service to those customers so that when they need it, they have someone there that's got their back?
Those are the three keys to a First Mark Challenge victory. And man, am I so glad Molly and I took the challenge. We are one of so many through a decade plus of being a First Mark Challenge victory. You can too. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com, firstmarkinsurance.com.
CBS News Brief. A man in Minneapolis is under arrest after he sprayed Congresswoman Ilhan Omar with an unknown smelly substance at a local town hall.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Tensions are running high after 2 U.S. citizens were shot to death by federal agents, one of them ICU nurse Alex Pretty, Saturday. CBS's Matt Gutman is in Minneapolis.
The preliminary review says 2 CBP agents opened fire that day, that during the scrum with Pretty on the ground, a Border Patrol agent yelled, "He's got a gun."
Pretty had a license to carry a concealed weapon. The statistics are sobering as the Russia-Ukraine war nears the 4-year mark. CBS's Vicki Barker.
Nearly 1.2 million Russian troops and close to 600,000 Ukrainian troops have been killed or wounded or been declared missing.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Our forecast, we are seeing some showers around the Puget Sound area. 51 our high for today. Overnight lows in the mid-40s. Tomorrow looks like we'll start off with showers, but more steady rain by afternoon. 52. We told you once the rain started, it was going to be with us for a while. We are looking for showers Friday, right on through Sunday with highs in the mid-50s. Right now, it's cloudy and 44 in Seattle. And coming up, CBS senior White House correspondent Weijia Jiang will break down the latest tensions in Minnesota. Also, the latest reaction from the president. Coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
that's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchie's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member. You get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchie's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchie.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
It's 5:47 on your Wednesday morning. A potential end to the violent clashes in Minnesota between ICE and protesters. We check in this morning with CBS senior White House correspondent Weijia Jiang. Weijia, good morning. It seems we're kind of seeing a change in tone from the Trump administration surrounding ICE involvement in the Twin Cities. Can you bring us up to speed?
Good morning, Manda, and good morning to everybody. Well, it sure seemed that way in the past couple of days because President Trump had conversations with the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, as well as the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, and all parties said that they had productive conversations about moving forward and making progress. But just moments ago, the president posted on Truth Social that, quote, surprisingly, Mayor Jacob Frey just stated that Minneapolis does not and will not enforce federal immigration laws. He went on to say that this was after having a very good conversation with him. Could somebody in his inner sanctum please explain that this statement is very serious violation of the law and that he is, quote, in all caps, playing with fire? So, Manda, even though it looked like things might have taken a turn to be different, I don't know what the next step will be, because clearly they are not on the same page in terms of how to de-escalate. And the president is insisting that local authorities work with federal officials to, enforce their policies. So at this point, we just have to continue to follow this and see what the next twist is.
Do we know if they have any further talks or meetings planned?
Well, at this point, we don't, but we do know that Tom Homan is in Minneapolis, and that is the president's so-called border czar, who is now in charge of ICE operations there. And we know that he had a meeting yesterday also with officials. In terms of the next phone calls that the president might have with these leaders, that is still TBD. Again, this was just moments ago that the president posted an update.
While Homan has arrived there, Democrats in D.C. are applying pressure to push DHS Secretary Kristi Noem out. What do we know about where that stands?
Well, certainly the calls are there, not only from Democrats, but from some Republicans. But multiple sources tell CBS News that even though Noem has faced criticism and scrutiny within the administration about how she has handled ICE operations in Minneapolis, that her job is secure. In fact, President Trump talked about this yesterday. He was asked explicitly if she should step down. He said no. And then he was asked later about her performance, and he said that she's doing a great job. He pointed out that, he is considering everything that she has done on the southern border to secure it, not only the ICE operation. So for now, it seems like her job is safe. Of course, we know that the commander who was in charge of those operations in Minneapolis with Customs and Border Patrol, Greg Bavino, has been reassigned back to his previous post in California. So even though he wasn't released or fired, he was removed from Minnesota, which, is a pretty strong signal that there is a change, at least in terms of what the president wants. And that's exactly why Tom Homan is there instead.
Ouija, Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was attacked at a town hall yesterday. What can you tell us about it?
Well, she was having a town hall, which she holds a pretty regular basis. And according to cell phone video and our reporters who were on the ground, there was a man in the audience who appeared to have a syringe of some sort and looked like he, ejected some liquid toward her. And she had a very quick reaction that was all caught on video. And obviously that suspect was wrestled to the ground and apprehended. And so we're learning more about his history, about why he may have been there. But politically, this is another firestorm brewing here in Washington, with Democrats already blaming the president's words on this sort of potential political violence, because the president has made very clear how he feels about the congresswoman. In fact, last night, when a reporter asked him about this incident and the video, whether he had seen it, he said he hadn't seen it, and he suggested that perhaps she sprayed herself. We'll have to see how this develops, but certainly it is an alarming case because tensions are so high that this would happen to a sitting congresswoman. But, I think the investigation is ongoing, and we'll have to wait to learn more about this man and what motivated him.
Ouija, before I let you go, Democrats are threatening a refusal to sign the budget bill without cuts to DHS and ICE. Here we go again, the threat of a government shutdown. What's the latest?
Well, This is the last thing that Republicans want, and frankly, that many Democrats want, because they just wrapped up the longest government shutdown in history, and ultimately it ends up hurting everybody, and some states more than others. And so there are a few proposals to negotiate to sort of pull out DHS funding from the current funding bill, but we'll have to see how they actually vote, because every vote, obviously, they have a lot to think about. But I should note that even if Democrats don't support this new round of funding, ICE enforcement is already covered, because so much was dedicated to DHS and ICE through the president's signature piece of legislation, the One Big Beautiful Bill, that it's not as though the operations would just come to a standstill. It would be largely symbolic. And so, they have a couple more days to sort that out, and who knows what we'll land on, because, every moment up on Capitol Hill, it seems like something's changing.
All right. We'll be watching for your updates. Thanks so much for your time this morning. CBS Senior White House Correspondent Weijia Jiang. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is set to testify before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee today, with a focus on U.S. policy toward Venezuela following the operation that led to Nicolas Maduro's capture. Rubio is expected to outline next diplomatic steps, including reopening the U.S. Embassy in Caracas. CBS News national security reporter Olivia Gazis has details.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is set to testify today before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, where he's expected to defend the administration's recent actions in Venezuela. Rubio is expected to say the U.S. operation that led to the detention of Nicolas Maduro was a limited law enforcement mission and not a military occupation. He is also expected to outline next steps as the U.S. begins restarting diplomatic functions in Venezuela, including an initial American presence in Caracas.
And a longtime rocker is extending an olive branch to Greenland.
Neil Young is offering free access to his entire music catalog to residents of Greenland. He has posted on his blog that it's to ease some of the unwarranted stress and threats amid tensions involving the U.S. and NATO. Young's offer lasts a year with possible renewal and requires a Greenland-based cell phone. The gesture contrasts with his recent decision to remove his music from Amazon Music and criticizing its founder, Jeff Bezos, for supporting President Trump. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
It's 5:54, and a check on our forecast. You're going to see some showers today, 51 the high. For tomorrow, showers to start the day, more steady rain moving in by afternoon, and 52. Those overnight lows are going to stay in the mid-40s, so you don't have to scrape your windshield for a while. Showers Friday right on through Sunday with highs in the mid-50s. Right now in Seattle, we have mostly cloudy skies. It is a little bit drizzly. It's 44 degrees right now. Glad to have you with us for Seattle's morning news on this Wednesday, the 28th of January. Coming up, KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey on the massive layoffs confirmed at Amazon and our extended weather forecast from meteorologist Scott Sistek of the Emerald City Weather blog. Always looking forward to talking to him. Our inbox is open for your news, tips, and story ideas at mynorthwest.com. And you can contact the show by texting the Muckleshoot Casino text line at 888-973-5476. This is KIRO News Radio.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Grippies with back-to-back home runs!
KIRO News Radio congratulates Rick Rids.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
The modern-day Bambino, Cal Raleigh.
We can't wait. From KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Hey, let's throw a party this year for the big game.
Oh, great idea. But first, we should get a new TV. One of the top-rated brands, Samsung, LG, or Sony.
Okay, I'll start shopping on the internet and then head over to the Warehouse Club.
Well, but if that's all we do, we'll be sorry.
Why?
Because the best deals on those top-rated TVs are at video only, not online or at the club.
Video only?
Yep. We can save up to $500 if we shop smart.
Or we'll be sorry.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
The John Curley Show.
I can't wait till I get a little older, be the really crotchety old guy, getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
For seniors, the new year is a good time to reassess finances. If you're struggling with bills, our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be a great way to ease your stress.
Seniors tell me all the time, we love our home, we'd love to stay here, but we just can't afford it anymore. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off your debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let your home work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me. Never a sales pitch and never an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage experts, the VA loan and debt consolidation experts too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump says time is running out for Iran to make a deal on nuclear weapons. He posted to Truth Social last hour, a U.S. armada headed by the SSS Abraham Lincoln is moving quickly toward Iran with, he says, great power, enthusiasm, and purpose.
Iran's foreign minister has just said there can be no negotiations between Washington and Tehran under the current, quote, atmosphere of threats, accusing Washington of making excessive demands and raising illogical issues. This, an apparent reference to Iran's brutal crackdown on protesters, which appears to be continuing despite President Trump's threat of military intervention. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Now to Minneapolis, where President Trump accuses Mayor Jacob Fry of, in the president's words, playing with fire for not enforcing federal immigration laws. The city's in turmoil after 2 U.S. citizens were shot to death by federal agents, one of them ICU nurse Alex Pretty, last Saturday. Last night, chaos broke out at an event featuring Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. CBS's Matt Gutman is in Minneapolis.
Police say 55-year-old Anthony Kamirzak charged at her during that town hall Tuesday night, using a syringe to spray an unknown substance before being tackled to the ground. Despite safety concerns, Omar insistent continued the event.
Tens of millions of people in the east are still in a deep freeze after a brutal winter storm. Many in the south still have no power. CBS's Katie Weiss from Oxford, Mississippi.
Nearly 150,000 people are still without electricity. Highway patrol deputies are now helping conduct welfare checks.
You know, if nobody went and checked on these people, our fear is that they'd freeze to death.
Chef Daniel Yarzagay is putting his cooking skills to good use in Nashville.
It was both heartbreaking and very rewarding because some of these people were literally crying as you handed them hot food because they haven't eaten in 2 days.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell is expected to announce today the board will leave interest rates right where they are. CBS's Jill Schlesinger.
Federal Reserve officials have been signaling that there's still some fog surrounding a lot of the official economic data. That's after the government shutdown caused a lapse.
6 Super Bowl wins and a no-go for the Hall of Fame. CBS Sports NFL insider Jonathan Jones is surprised Bill Belichick didn't get enough votes in his first year of eligibility.
Utterly shocked and stunned by this. Pro Football Hall of Fame that doesn't have Bill Belichick in it, there's no use for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
ESPN says Spygate and Deflategate worked against him. This is
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
5,000. 6:03 now, and Sully, Belichick belongs in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, you may hate the guy, but yeah, come on.
He
belongs in the Hall of Fame. Seriously.
Okay.
It's kind of like that one guy who didn't vote for Ichiro.
Yeah, or the, the bell is ringing when I think of that. Okay, let's check the traffic every 10 minutes on the 3.
Wow, we've got a traffic alert in effect in the for the drive coming up from the Tacoma area. We have only the far right lane open on northbound I-5 as you get past Highway 18 for this crash. The cars are strewn all over the place. We've got a 40-minute trip right now from Tacoma to Federal Way, and that's my best guesstimate based on the conditions at this point. Again, just to go up the hill through this 3-mile backup. Once you're through that, Federal Way to Seattle is only 35 minutes. Valley Freeway, heavy out of Auburn up to about Kent. Overall, we've got about 42 minutes on that drive. I'm expecting that to go up with people trying to find an alternate. Rented to Bellevue, about 17 minutes. Coming down from the north end, we're already up to 45 from Everett to Seattle. 40 from Everett to Bellevue. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:04. Official now, Amazon is announcing mass layoffs starting today.
Their latest reduction includes 16,000 roles. However, they say they have no plans for more in the near future.
And joining us live with the update is KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, Charlie and Manda, Amazon made that announcement this morning in a blog post on their website. It includes 16,000 roles across the company. Want to be a little bit careful here. You're going to be seeing headlines, and I just saw one on a TV station locally just a moment ago. These are 16,000 roles. Doesn't mean people being laid off necessarily, because these could be roles, some of them that weren't filled yet. So just be careful with that. A senior vice president says the cuts are designed to, quote, strengthen our organization by reducing layers, increasing ownership, and removing bureaucracy. But, one big question for Seattle and the Pacific Northwest is now the impact to the local economy. Jeff Schulman, a professor at UW's Foster School of Business, tells KIRO 7 TV this is a gut punch to the area for sure.
This is kind of the scariest time economically for the Seattle region since the Great Recession in 2009.
Yeah, the round of layoffs recently comes after Amazon cut 14,000 positions just last October. And yesterday, remember, they announced they are closing all of their Amazon Go and Amazon Fresh stores as well. Joe Nguyen, the president and CEO of the Seattle Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce, tells KIRO 7 TV he worries about the immense talent that's out here in this area and the infrastructure in tech and science fields that all might be cut now.
We have very good fundamentals and ingredients in this area to be very successful going forward. The part that makes me nervous is that you have to invest in those areas.
Amanda and Charlie, obviously this is a story that's developing. We'll be diving into this morning throughout. From the beginning, though, when it comes to innovation, Amazon has been kind of the company that throws the spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks. It appears that's what they're doing here as well. The company says they're going to continue hiring new roles and investing in areas that are strategic to the future of the company. So think AI, and AWS leads the industry building data centers that support AI. We're seeing mass layoffs, however, from Amazon every few months now. A company spokesperson addressed that in their blog this morning, saying that is not their plan moving forward.
All right, Luke, thank you. We have an exclusive for you this morning. KIRO News Radio has obtained a draft of the income tax proposal lawmakers are working on behind closed doors in Olympia. There is a lot in here that hasn't been part of the public debate.
Yeah, among the key provisions, the bill would essentially overturn Initiative 2111, the income tax ban voters approved in 2024. Remember, Washington voters have rejected income taxes 11 times since 1932. But Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson has called that ban a pie-crust promise, easily made, easily broken. The draft also shows a 9.9% tax on income above $1 million starting in 2029.
Here's something that might surprise you. Married couples would share a single $1 million deduction. So if each spouse makes more than $500,000, they would be taxed on that combined income above the $1 million limit. To unmarried people earning $600,000 would owe nothing. But a married couple earning that same $1.2 million total would owe tax on $200,000. For some high-earning households, marriage would mean a higher tax bill.
And both House and Senate Democrats have confirmed the authenticity of the draft to KIRO News Radio. House Majority Leader Joe Fitzgibbon says it's real, but very much a work in progress and could significantly change before it's introduced. Governor Ferguson's office says this is not their draft, but they didn't elaborate or dispute any of the specific provisions. Republicans warn there's nothing stopping for a future legislature from lowering that $1 million threshold with a simple majority vote. There's a lot more to dive in here, including how the state would tax visiting professional athletes when they play against Seattle teams. We have the full details posted now on mynorthwest.com.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Oh, thank goodness you're back. Sully was being mean to me all show yesterday.
How dare you, Sully?
Yeah.
Somebody
Let's
had
all
to.
just get along.
Somebody had to.
You mean I'm usually mean when I'm here?
No, you're just a more of an authoritative figure that keeps us in line.
Well, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, and you look like $1 million.
No, I don't. I don't feel like $1 million. Maybe approaching 500,000.
Okay.
Or so.
Well, just
in other words, you're still under the tax level.
Yes, that was my goal.
Just under the threshold.
Just under.
Okay. Well, it is Blue Wednesday, January 28th, 2026.
Every day is just blue now until
it will be.
8th, right?
And maybe even after. Who knows? Nick Kreisha is picking the tunes and keeping us on track with playing the board. Jillian Raftery is out at the news desk following the big news stories of the day. And, of course, producer David Burbank is here in studio.
And this hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
Okay, well, it's changed. How much rain will we now get after all these dry days? Could we expect snow next month? We're going to check in with meteorologist Scott Sistek for the extended forecast.
Also on the way, what would a 32-hour work week look like in Washington state? There is a bill in the legislature proposing that, and KIRO News Radio's James Lynch will have more on that.
Well, nurses at Seattle's Children's Hospital will vote this week on a new contract. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglaven reports.
The Washington State Nurses Association says the tentative agreement was reached Friday after 9 months of bargaining. The new proposal includes 13 key changes, including workplace violence protections, increase of wages by March of 2028, and new technology protections. An online vote is expected from Thursday to Saturday.
What do you think about a 32-hour work week? That idea is on the table in Olympia. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch tells us it might sound like a good idea, but is it really?
State Democratic Representative Sean Scott sponsored legislation to move Washington to a 32-hour work week. Scott says Americans work hundreds of hours more than their counterparts in Canada, Japan, the UK, and Germany. Ashley Fuston with the Washington Federation of State Employees supports the proposal and points to San Juan County, which instituted a 32-hour work week in 2023.
Not only did it save the county $2 million, but it resulted in significant employee morale boosts.
Opponents fear workers will earn less because they will get paid at the same rate, but for fewer hours. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
City of Issaquah going all in on the Seahawks trip to the Super Bowl. Mayor Mark Mullet just signed a proclamation renaming the city.
Issaquah is now 12 Issaquah.
As a 20-year Seattle Seahawks season ticket holder, this is a special moment for me.
Yes, Issaquah is 12 Sequoia from now until the Super Bowl. Mayor Mullet says the city has more Super Bowl-inspired surprises coming.
It is the last season for the legendary radio voice of the Mariners.
There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
Rick Ray is retiring after the 2026 season. He has spent 40 years on live baseball play-by-play, originally hired by the Mariners in 1983, paired, of course, with Hall of Famer Dave Niehaus. Riz took a brief hiatus before returning in 1995, where he's been a fixture for Seattle baseball fans ever since.
And Mariners insider Shannon Drayer is stunned. She spoke about Rick on the Jake and Spike show.
He's like family to all of us in the booth, and we absolutely love him.
She says it's hard to imagine summer nights without his hi everybody, his stories, and the way he paints every pitch.
That's going to be strange, isn't it?
It's going to be very different.
Yeah. All right, it's time for a check on the weather. We are seeing some rain around, and we're going to check in with KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard. Good morning.
Good morning. The dry streak ended at about 14 days and like 21 hours. And now we are just looking at some showers moving through. What I think you'll see is one more band of rain this morning, and it's going to taper off by about mid-morning, and then we got a couple of hours of drier weather. And before we see, anything else push in, you'll probably be on the drier side from, say, 7 to 8 till about 10 a.m. And then rain returns, and we'll see rain or at least more widespread showers for the afternoon and evening hours. And then beyond that, I think you're just going to keep showers going into the overnight. Highs will be more like into the, say, upper 40s and lower 50s. So we have showers, we'll have some breezy weather at times, and low 50s and upper 40s with snow levels that'll be pretty high, probably around 4,500 feet rising up to 5,500, 6,000 feet over the next couple of days. So there might be a little bit of snow in the Cascades today, but then it's just going to turn to mainly rain. And that's the plan tomorrow. Rain turning to showers, high snow levels. Look for rain or at least showers on Friday. High snow levels. Every day is in the mid-50s. We do get drier weather this weekend. What I think you'll find then is maybe just like a few showers on Saturday and then mainly dry again till Sunday evening. But this weekend's in the mid-50s to upper 50s, and we keep it that way to start next week. So mountain snow, this is not good, but the dry streak at least is over.
All right, Nick, thank you. Right now it's cloudy, a little bit drizzly, and 44 in Seattle.
And we've gone basically 2 weeks without rain. This morning I was noticing it was a lot slippery on the road. Sully, you have traffic for us.
So it gets a lot slipperier when you are running over spike strips laid out by the State Patrol. And that's what we have going on northbound I-5. Our traffic alert that we have just north of Highway 18. We have a 5-mile backup up to where, according to the State Patrol, they were making contact with somebody at the rest area there. The person then took off. There was a brief pursuit. They spiked the car. The car then hit another car, and that's why we have only the far right lane open at this point for this crash investigation. So there's an extra component to this. No one injured, 2 in custody, but that's what we're dealing with. And we've got at least a 50-minute trip minimum from Tacoma to Federal Way. That's about a 30-minute delay. And again, that's just a guesstimate because only the right lane is open. The word hasn't quite gotten out yet, or else people would be heading to the Valley Freeway. Right now, it's still a good option if you're starting in Puyallup or Sumner. Only 42 minutes to make the drive up to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's about 20 now. Federal Way to Seattle, since everyone's trapped to the south, it's only 40 minutes. Coming down from the north end, 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle because of the brake lights we have from before 145th. About 40 minutes from Everett down into Bellevue. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974, this is KIRO News Radio.
6:15 now. It looks like the icy temperatures are gone for the moment and the rain has returned.
What do we expect headed into February? Well, let's check in with meteorologist Scott Sistek. You can check out Scott's writing at the Emerald City Weather blog. It was so odd to hear rain on the roof last night, Scott.
Yeah, I had to go check the radar and make sure that it was really raining outside. It's kind of, what's that sound? Is the rain here already? And then the second thing was to go race to the computer and find out if the rain streak ended, which it did.
Now, you were calling this the Mega Ridge on your site. What is a Mega Ridge, and why was this so unusual for January?
Well, I think it was just my own name just to kind of give it some sort of description of just it's larger and more stubborn than a typical ridge. Most times in January, if we get a a day or two of clear weather or dry weather, it's pretty rare. But to go like a week, we're looking at, at the start of this, it's going to go 7, 10, 12, ended up going 14, almost 15 days. And yeah, it's unusual. That would have, if we had made another few hours, it would have tied the record for the longest dry streak. But that ridge was very stubborn. It was very expansive. It covered most of the West Coast, went up into British Columbia and even to parts of Alaska. And so it was very unusual in its strength and its power, its staying power, I should say. And I am glad it's gone, but it's not gone for long. Spoiler alert.
So the rain is here. Last week we were talking about a potential atmospheric river, but it sounds like you're saying this is more like an atmospheric brook. Is that right?
Yeah, some of the other people writing in said more like atmospheric tributary or atmospheric creek. Or someone said atmospheric garden hose. That might be my favorite. But it's technically an atmospheric river because it's tapped into some warm tropical moisture, and it's kind of got the look of an atmospheric river, but does not have the punch of a normal atmospheric river that we were talking about. Certainly not like what we saw in November or December. So that's why I was kind of like, it's kind of, but not really. So that's what's bringing the rain. That's why it's mild. You heard Nick talk about the snow levels are going to be way up again. So that's not good. So it's not really the rain we're looking for here, right? We really need that 40-degree rain here at best, or at worst, I should say.
And spoiler alert, you just said it. What is on the way next week that has your attention?
So it's going to be kind of wet for the short term. Although I should say Saturday looks pretty nice. We get a little warm break in there. You're going to be in the middle. Like I thought it was supposed to be warm or rainy. It's like Saturday, sunny, or not sunny, but dry and upper 50s. But yeah, once we get through another little bit of rain Sunday, Monday, the ridge comes back. It may not be mega ridge. It might be just like, Mondo Ridge. I don't know, or something like little brother. But yeah, the ridge is coming back again. It looks dry and fairly mild again next week. And there was a day, some of the earlier models a couple days ago put 64 for a high in Seattle on Wednesday. I looked today, it's now like 60 or 61. Splitting hairs, I get it.
Yeah.
But, it definitely looks warm next week.
My 14-year-old daughter keeps asking me, when are we going to get snow, Mom? It's not going to snow, is it?
So it's not looking good in the long range. But I figured you might ask the question. So I looked up. It's like, what do other places do when they're looking for snow? And I grew up around here. I hadn't heard any of this before, but apparently in the Midwest, they have some traditions you can do to make it snow.
Oh.
And so they can do stuff like you wear your pajamas inside out or backwards.
Okay.
You can put a spoon under your pillow. You can flush ice cubes down the toilet. I guess that's supposed to help freeze the water supply.
That's a good one.
Put a white cran in the freezer.
White crayon in the freezer. Okay.
I guess maybe I don't know, just the white cold ice. I don't know, but I would say I never heard of these before, but someone had mentioned them before. That's like, these are things we were all doing back, especially with the snowstorm back there that they had. I'm sure people were doing it and then regretted their decision when it really hit. But things you can do to make it
snow. When do we really run out of gas on the chances for snow? Is it usually late February?
Yeah, usually my internal clock for Seattle is March 8th.
Okay.
That's kind of where I declare that's where the fourth quarter ends. Now, sometimes you can go into overtime. We've had some snows in mid-March here, but I kind of feel like March 8th is like, okay, we stop looking for it. And I looked up the 2 to 3 week outlook, the 6 to 10 day outlook. They're all, orange and reds for above average temperature and drier. So I know going into this, all these times we talked earlier, it was like, the snow will be here eventually. It's La Nina. We'll get it maybe in December, maybe January. Oh, February. It'll be definitely here in February. And March, maybe. Who knows?
And elsewhere in the country, you mentioned the big snowstorm they're dealing with and still are dealing with now. How unusual a storm was that?
That was very unusual. Well, I mean, they get winter back there. It had been a few years. I wouldn't say it was historic like never ever, but it had been several years since they had a decent snow and ice storm. I know New York City hadn't seen that much snow in probably since the late 2010s. And then there's another storm looking for this weekend, like a nor'easter up the eastern seaboard, around New England and all that. So I'm sure they're all back to freaking out over the summer or over the winter. And we're all sitting here just sighing can we have something besides a ridge? And if it has to not be a ridge, can it not be an atmospheric river? Is there anything else? Is there a ski here for the winter? Because I know a lot of people would be eager.
Hey, Scott, we're talking about lowland snow here and across the country. How concerned are we about the mountains now, the snowpack?
I'm getting concerned just because I think last look, some of the spots up there are only like 35-40% of normal. And as you're seeing, there's really not a whole lot of help coming in the next 2 weeks at least. I mean, we can still get snow in the mountains up until March and April. So I'm still hopeful there's a cold pattern in there. The cold pattern is out there. It's just, as you've seen, it's shoved off to the east here. It's like if that ridge had been, a few hundred miles to the west, if mega ridge had been out over the Pacific and over Alaska, then we would have been getting all this Arctic air, and we'd be talking about here comes week 2 of the deep freeze in Seattle. So the cold air is out there. We just got to get it into this neighborhood, get these ridges out of the way and stop blocking everything. And I'm sure the East Coast would be happy to trade right now. I'm sure they're done with it. So if we want to work out some sort of trade, that would be great. Call me. I'm the general manager. I'd be happy to facilitate.
You mentioned the possibility of being in the 60s in parts of February. That's going to feel oddly warm. What's the record?
Depending on the date, next week it's right around 62 to 64. I think there's a lot of 62s and 63s like February 2, 3, 4. So it'll be close. I think the latest models say we'll be a degree or two shy, but then we get these warm patterns. Sometimes CTAC can spike a little bit. So I think there's decent odds we may at least tie a record.
Okay.
On Wednesdays.
Scott, when we talk with you next week, we're going to need a forecast, I don't know, for Santa Clara, California, the following Sunday, okay?
Okay, we'll do. I'm guessing if the ridge is still here, it'll be just as nice down there as it is up here.
Awesome. Scott Sistek with the Emerald City Weather blog. You can check it out at emeraldcityweather.com. Scott, thanks for your time this morning.
Take care. All right. Talk to you next week. It's 6:23. We have some problems on the road. Let's get to traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. Sully?
Before I get to my traffic alert, just as Scott was talking, traction tires are required over I-90, open Snoqualmie Pass, advised at Stevens and White, just FYI. Now to our traffic alert. Do not get on northbound I-5 out of Tacoma if you can. Try to find an alternate route, get to an alternate route. We only have the far right lane open just past Highway 18. All the other lanes are blocked. This is for the end of a state patrol pursuit that ended in a crash, and so they have a lot to do there. And we have about a 6-mile backup that almost extends all the way to the Puyallup River, coming past the Dome. And my best guesstimate is an hour from Tacoma to Federal Way. That's about 40 minutes longer than normal. It's probably longer than that. Right now, 161 is your better bet, the Enchanted Parkway there. 99 is really filling in. People haven't quite gone to 167 as of yet, so it's not too bad. It's still running right around 50 minutes. Then Renton to Bellevue's got about 25. Because everyone's kind of trapped before you even get to Federal Way, that Federal Way to Seattle drive's running 40 minutes, which is about 15 minutes faster than normal. Across the lake, no problems. Coming down from the north end, we've got about an hour drive now from Everett into Seattle. 40 of those minutes are from Linwood. That's about a 15-minute delay. Really heavy away from Linwood on 405, so 45 minutes from Everett into Bellevue. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save $600 off windows, $1,500 off doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors, plus enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. Don't wait to visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Showers today, a high of 51, 52 our high for tomorrow. Right now it's 45 and cloudy in Seattle.
And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey will look into some of the local excitement surrounding our Super Bowl-bound Seattle Seahawks.
And we'll have your opening bell report right here on Seattle's Morning News.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on most beds with base. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at a Sleep Number store today.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Did you know that 25% of your home's heat loss is through your attic? Hot air rises, and if your attic isn't properly insulated, the hot air is going to rise right through your ceiling, into your attic, and out your roof that's far past its half-life. That sounds cold and expensive. Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. If this sounds like your house, it's time to call Valentine. And right now, Valentine has a great winter special. Bundle attic insulation with any new roof, and you'll save an additional 10% off your entire project. Plus, with Valentine's financing options, they make it easy. No matter what your home needs, insulation, gutters, siding, or a new roof, you are guaranteed the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service, even in winter weather. My home is protected by Valentine. They keep me off the roof, which my wife and kids are extremely grateful for. I trust them to help you too. To lock in your winter bundle savings, call 206 Roofing today. Again, that's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine vans, you know your home is in good hands. 206 Roofing.
Around here, rain isn't a surprise. While others run for cover, Seahawks fans step into the storm, game day ready. And the Pro Shop is how.
Ball picked up. Witherspoon comes near side. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Seahawks!
Every game, any weather. We got that. Shop official Seahawks gear in store at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/Pro Shop.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com. Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 6:30. Well, Amazon now confirms mass layoffs starting today.
With the story, here's KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery.
Reuters was the first to report sweeping layoffs of as many as 16,000 last week, and that's the number being released by Beth Galletti, Senior Vice President of People Experience at Amazon. She says this goes back to decisions last October to, quote, strengthen our organization by reducing layers, increasing ownership, and removing bureaucracy. Galletti says Amazon is in a strong position and still hiring and investing in areas of strategic importance. For those who are being let go, most U.S.-based employees will get 90 days to look for a new job to stay at Amazon. For those who don't get rehired or opt out, they say other support like severance pay and outplacement services are available. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
We are 11 days away from Super Bowl 60.
And to get there, well, the Seahawks needed a little grit, a little luck, and maybe a few players to seal the win over the Rams on Sunday night. And KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
Yeah, Charlie and Manda, between now and Super Bowl kickoff, we are your station, everyone, for Seahawks coverage. I'm telling you, including all the stories that you really are not going to hear anywhere else. To prove that, this morning, we're going to church. 'Cause I gotta have faith. You know, you may have heard about the Pope Seahawks theory, that one where every year a pope is elected, a pope is a new pope. The Seahawks have gone to the Super Bowl. It happened in 2005 with Pope Benedict. Pope Francis was elected in 2013, and we won the Super Bowl. And now this year, Pope Leo, the first American pope. So I recently asked a Catholic priest what it all means. And, Sully, I'm looking at you to help absolve us of any pregame sins. So first I asked Father Brian Dolce, a great interview. I got to tell you, I can't wait till you hear from him. He was a pastor in Renton. Are there any signs of a Seahawk in the Bible that might help us?
On eagle's wings, I guess, would be the one piece, because that comes from one of the Psalms, but not directly connected to the Super Bowl that I can think of, as sad as that is.
All right, so we're warming up here in the interview. No Seahawk in the Bible, but next I asked him, is it a sin to ask God for a win? And I'm asking for all the 12s out there.
Well, I wouldn't call it a sin in the large scheme of sin. There's a lot of major sins in the world.
And to explain that, he told me when he was a kid, he asked his mother about praying to God for a Little League win, and he asked her...
But what if there's like a Catholic kid on the other team, and he's praying for the same thing? And my mom was like, yeah, it's better probably just to pray that everybody does their best and whatever God wants will be the case, etc. So
yeah, so in other words,
you always want to say, thy will be done. And then, of course, I always think to myself, well, God's got bigger fish to fry than, as much as we want him to win.
So there you have it. We've gone to church today. It is okay to pray, everyone, for a win. Later on this morning, I asked Father Brian if God likes the Patriots. I asked him a whole bunch of questions. We're going to have that for you coming up.
Father Brian is my new favorite.
He's great.
That laugh is amazing.
It's infectious. And he's a Hawks fan. He's a 12.
Okay.
And he's rooting for the Hawks. Go Hawks.
All right. Go Hawks, indeed. I'm viewing my entire career flash in front of my eyes.
We're
right
good.
now.
We've got Father Brian and God on our side. We're good.
Sully has traffic at the traffic desk.
That guy could do my confession. I like that. That would be good.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a 12, and by 12 you mean the 12 disciples, correct?
Something like that.
A lot of 12s coming up in this interview.
Yeah. Hell.
Sully has traffic at the traffic
Yes, I do.
desk.
Well, people could say a prayer that we could get through this 6-mile backup. It's not going to help at this point because we have basically the freeway closed on northbound I-5 right past Highway 18 getting up into Federal Way. Only the far right lane is open for this. This started out as a police pursuit, a brief one. Spike strips were used. The car lost control, hit another car, and so there's a little bit to investigate. My best guesstimate is it's over an hour to go through that 6 miles. So that's about a 45-minute delay. My best guess, my best option would be to not get on the road there. Try to find an alternate. 99's really filling in, but it's actually faster. Some people have headed down to the Valley Freeway or started there, so it's up over 50 minutes. Then Renton to Bellevue is about 28. Coming down from the north end, well over an hour from Everett into Seattle with a 20-minute delay getting from Shoreline down into Northgate. For I-405, it's right around 50 minutes total to go from Everett down into Bellevue. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, we're seeing showers this morning. They'll be with us through the day. 80% chance of rain, 51 the high for today. For tomorrow, look for showers in the morning, more steady rain later in the day, and 52. And then Friday, right on through Sunday, just scattered showers, nothing too major, with highs in the mid-50s. Right now, mostly cloudy, a little bit drizzly, and 44 in Seattle.
Time for the opening bell report. We told you about the Amazon layoffs, and there is another big Seattle company cutting jobs.
I'm Jillian Raftery. Travel company Expedia Group is making another round of cuts, this time hitting its technology staff. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports it could affect 10% of that team. Seattle-based employees shared news of the layoffs on LinkedIn. A spokesperson said the company is reorganizing and reducing layers to speed up decision-making. The company went through 2 rounds of layoffs last year. They have more than 3,000 Seattle-based employees.
And UPS plans to cut as many as 30,000 jobs this year.
UPS CFO Brian Dykes says they're closing 24 buildings in the first half of this year.
And we're evaluating additional buildings to be closed later in the year. Plus, we plan to further deploy automation across the network.
On Monday, the UPS facility in Jameson Park, Washington, near Spokane, was shut down. All these moves accelerate UPS's efforts to consolidate its facilities and workforce as part of its decision to deliver fewer packages from Amazon. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Federal Reserve expected to hold steady as it wraps up its first policy meeting of the year today. Markets are watching for clues on when rate cuts or hikes could come next. Here's CBS's Jill Schlesinger.
If the Federal Reserve takes no action, it means that interest rates on credit card balances and auto loans, well, they're going to remain high. Credit card interest rates right now average over 19%, and auto loans, which are heavily dependent on credit scores and the age of the vehicle, range from as low as 5% all the way up to 13% for those with shaky scores.
President Trump will share details of his Trump accounts today.
Trump accounts are government accounts funded through private contributions, federal seed money, and other sources. Under the program, the Treasury Department will make a one-time $1,000 deposit into every eligible newborn child's Trump account. Employers as well can contribute up to $2,500 a year. The goal is to create savings vehicles for every child under the age of 18 and to grow those funds much like IRA accounts. The CEO of Dell Technologies, Michael Dell, and his wife Susan are major contributors. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
We keep hearing AI will take over so much work we'll hardly need to work. But what if it's the opposite? I'm Jeff Colvin of Fortune magazine with the Fortune Business Update. Yes, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and other very smart people say the work week is about to shrink. Some say down to 4 days. Some say 2. Musk says no days. But Mark Dixon isn't buying it. He's the CEO of International Workplace Group, which leases workplaces worldwide to companies for short or long periods. He says companies can't afford to pay the same wages for fewer hours, so any time that's freed up by automation will likely be filled with new tasks, not handed back to workers. It's true that professional and business service workers do work more today than they did 20 years ago. The big question is, will the next 20 years be different? I'm Jeff Colvin.
As we heard Jill Schlesinger say, the markets are watching for the Fed's decision on interest rates. And right now, the S&P 500 just crossed over into 7,000 points for the first time. It's eased back just a little bit to 69.95. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 40 points, and the NASDAQ is ahead 118. That's 0.5%.
A word for KIRO 7 News, live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News that's happening now so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers. News that's local because where you live matters. No more, no now on KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m.
Sully, it looks like we really have a mess on our hands in the South End.
Yeah, we do, but we have some positive news. They're moving the cars out of the way, and they're reopening some lanes at this point. So now there is a little bit, it looks like the valve has been opened. We'll have much more for you coming up here in 3 minutes.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
The G and Ursula Show.
Seattle is at the top of another list.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
We are officially the most expensive city to host a Super Bowl party. As it gets more and more expensive, do you do things like, hey,
potlucks are fun. Yeah, that's normal. I have friends that'll come over and they'll bring something. Yeah. And I also got those friends that either bring paper plates or ice? Cornelius, I have him bring ice. He's a great ice guy.
On KIRO News Radio and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Take the next step to becoming a Seahawks season ticket holder. Join the season ticket holder notification list to secure your spot in line. By signing up, you'll be the first to know when space becomes available on the official Blue Pride wait list. Plus, receive team news, special ticket offers, and more. Visit Seahawks.com/season tickets to sign up today.
6:43, Chris Sullivan. We have some frustrated drivers now.
Yeah, we do. We have a bunch of people stuck in about a 7-mile backup that really isn't moving. Northbound I-5 starting right around the Puyallup River and moving all the way up past Highway 18. That's where we had the police with a brief pursuit, led to spike strips and then a crash. The cars are now moved over to the right shoulder. It looks like the HOV lane is still blocked. But we've definitely gone from 1 lane open to now 4 lanes open. So hopefully this backup will go away. It's just going to take a while. I mean, my best guesstimate is it's over an hour to go from Tacoma to Federal Way. That's normally like 17 minutes. So we're looking at massive delays coming up from Pierce County. And there really aren't many other ways to get there. I mean, I know the reader boards are up before 512 because I could see people going that way to get down to the Valley Freeway. And so eastbound 512 is now jammed up really heavy getting into and through South Hill. And then you go from Puyallup to Renton of about 50 minutes. Renton to Bellevue is not quite a half an hour. Federal Way to Seattle is only 42 minutes because everyone's stuck in that backup. Now that we've kind of released the valve there, I think we're going to start seeing this pack move up slowly, and it's going to be a tough go here the rest of the morning. Coming down from the north end of 405 is actually worse than I-5 today, if you can believe it. Bumper to bumper from Linwood down through 522. Hour drive from Everett into Bellevue with 40 of those minutes from Linwood. Same travel time of Linwood down into Seattle. Brake lights begin there about 175th and go down to where we lose the express lanes. They don't really continue any further south than that. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO Newsradio App where you can listen to your favorite shows, get the latest news and updates right to your phone.
Our dry streak is over. We're going to see showers throughout the day. A high today of 51. Tomorrow looks like showers early on, more steady rain for the afternoon, and 52 Friday right on through Sunday. Look for scattered showers, nothing too threatening. Highs will be in the mid-50s. Right now in Seattle, cloudy and 45.
How does 32-hour work week sound to you? Well, KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch has a deep dive on the one bill in Olympia that could possibly make that happen. He's on the way on Seattle's Morning News.
Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision.
If you're over 50 and you've been diagnosed with a cataract, or your vision is changing as you're developing an early cataract, you could be a perfect candidate for K2 Vision RLE.
It's inevitable. At some point, typically in your 60s or 70s, you'll have a dysfunctional lens that eventually becomes a cataract. To restore your vision, you will someday need a procedure such as refractive lens exchange.
The question is, are you done with glasses? Do you want to spend your good, active years hassling with changing prescriptions and needing readers?
K2 Vision RLE can give you great vision now, permanently, and you'll never develop that cataract. The procedure is quick and painless, and our state-of-the-art custom lens technologies give highly predictable outcomes.
K2 Vision surgeons have performed nearly 100,000 procedures. We know when RLE is right for you.
Find out. Schedule a free Zoom consultation at k2visionrle.com.
K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain. Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast. Speaking of fast, did you just see that play? Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait, and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live. Stream it online. Watch the show or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
6:48 now. Lawmakers in Olympia are considering a proposal to move the state from a standard 40-hour work week to a 32-hour work week.
Sounds like a good idea for workers, but is it really? Here's KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Democratic Representative Sean Scott sponsored legislation to move Washington to the shorter work week, and here's why.
Americans work annually 125 more hours yearly than workers in Canada, 204 hours more annually than workers in Japan, 279 more annually than workers in the UK, and 470 hours more annually than people in Germany.
San Juan County moved to the shorter work week in 2023. Scott says it can serve as a model for the rest of the state.
Officials have reported an 18% decrease in sick calls, a 216% increase in people applying for job openings, and an 83% rate of workers who saw improved work-life balance as a result of an 8-hour reduction in the work week.
Ashley Fuston is with the Washington Association of State Employees.
Not only did it save the county $2 million without lowering any pay for the workers, but it resulted in significant employee morale boosts and a 28% reduction in employees leaving.
Most people we spoke with say they would be interested in a shorter work week and more free time with family and friends. But there are also skeptics, like Republican Representative Joel McIntyre.
I'm just wondering why this one-size-fits-all policy. Why do we think this would work for the whole state when we have such a variety of different industries and working personalities?
And then there's the money. With a shorter work week, employers would have to pay overtime above 32 hours rather than 40, and sick and vacation time would be calculated based on the shorter week. All that sounds good, but there is concern workers could take home smaller paychecks. Republican Representative Alex Ibarra.
If you're an hourly employee and you're only working 32 hours, you'll make a lot less money because you're getting paid, let's say, $20 an hour for 40 hours. If this passes, you're going to be working 32 hours for $20 an hour.
Andrea Ray with the Washington Hospitality Association is among a group of business and industry leaders who thinks the shorter week is a bad idea.
We must respectfully oppose the proposal to reduce the standard work week and appreciate employers being able to set their own standards and culture. I know I personally find joy in my long hours and work.
Representative Scott says change is never easy.
The 40-hour week, which we kind of accept more or less as kind of standard, was just as contested when it was implemented 50 or 60 years ago. And so we might be looking back on this time as a time where we took a bold step forward for a happier workforce and a more productive workforce with a 32-hour week.
If the proposal comes up for a vote and passes, it would go into effect January 2028. James Lynch, KIRO Newsradio.
A new bill in Olympia could boost pay for school board directors across Washington state. It would raise daily pay from $50 to $100 with a yearly cap of $13,750. Lawmakers say it would be the first major change in nearly 40 years. Seattle Times reports the bill also requires free financial training and lets directors get child care costs reimbursed. The Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction requested the changes.
Seattle children's nurses have reached a tentative deal on a new contract after 9 months of bargaining. Nurse Lindsay Kirsch, who is also an officer for the union, says the deal includes wage increases, more sick leave, and stronger protections against workplace violence.
If the nurse was assaulted, their head was bashed into a wall, which is very realistic, they had to use their own sick time or vacation time to pay themselves.
Under the agreement, that will not be the case anymore. Nurses will be voting on the agreement this Thursday through Saturday. Seattle Children says it is pleased that a tentative agreement has been reached. A spokesperson says in a statement, quote, "Thank you to the nurses and care teams for continuing to provide high quality and safe care for patients and their families during this time."
Seattle-based Rad Power Bikes getting a new owner after a tough year. The electric bike company is selling to Life Electric Vehicles Holdings for $13.3 million. Rad Power once carried a valuation of more than $1 billion, but it filed for bankruptcy in December. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, 5 bidders took part in last week's auction for the company's assets.
It's now 6:53. That's time for traffic around here every 10 minutes on the threes. What a mess in the south end.
Yeah, it is. It's a big time mess. It's an hour and 15 minutes to go 6 miles. Let that sink in. That's about an hour delay trying to get from Tacoma just up to Federal Way. Only the right lane is blocked now after this crash. That was the end result of a brief Washington State Patrol pursuit. And so we've got basically an hour and 15 to make that trip. A lot of people, because the reader boards are out south, are now jumping over to eastbound 512, and it's jammed up a lot more than it should be heading down into Puyallup. And then once you get over to the Valley Freeway, you've got about 50 minutes on up. Federal Way to Seattle starting to see a little bit more action now that people are making their way north out of that closure zone. And we have about a 45-minute trip for you guys. Renton to Bellevue is not quite a half an hour. Lake bridges are still in very good shape at this point. Coming down from the north end, hour and 10-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, about 25 minutes behind schedule. 50 of those minutes are away from Linwood, as we've gotten used to our lives without the express lanes in the southbound direction. Not much action going northbound through the actual construction zone. By the way, if you haven't driven through that construction zone, they put in temporary camera enforcement for speed.
Okay.
Just to be prepared if you're going through there at a time when you can actually go maybe above the speed limit. Pay attention because the little mobile trailer is out there primarily overnight. They put up the signs earlier this week. So, yeah, add that to just the back of your head. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save $600 off windows, $1,500 off doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months, same as cash financing, that is. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Forecast calls for a high of 51 today. Showers today, 52 for a high tomorrow with more rain. Seattle right now, it's 40.
Coming up, Luke Ducey has more on the massive Amazon layoffs.
And what's the future of the Federal Reserve? The Supreme Court weighs a decision as we hear from former State Attorney General Rob McKenna. That'll be at 7:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs!
KIRO Newsradio congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
The modern-day Bambino, Cal Raleigh.
We can't wait. From KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83 or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83 or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83 or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83 or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, I don't know. What did the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com. Your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts for 34 years. Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Get a no-pressure consultation from a real person, never an AI bot. Web search Best Mortgage for honest advice you can trust.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump has issued a warning to the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, amid rising tensions over the shooting deaths of 2 U.S. citizens by federal agents and discontent with the Department of Homeland Security. Correspondent Natalie Brand.
President Trump says that Mayor Frey stated that Minneapolis does not and will not enforce federal immigration laws. This is after having a very good conversation with him. Could somebody in his inner sanctum please explain that this statement is a very serious violation of the law and that he is playing with fire?
The president is demanding Iran enter nuclear talks or face a potential attack by what he calls an armada of U.S. warships. CBS's Ramy Inocencio spoke to a protester.
He wants the U.S. to provide air support to, in his words, send the entire leadership of this regime to their own ideological paradise in a lightning strike.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is scheduled to testify before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee this hour on U.S. policy in Venezuela after Nicolas Maduro's ouster. CBS's Olivia Gazis reports from Washington.
Rubio is expected to say the U.S. operation that led to the detention of Nicolas Maduro was a limited law enforcement mission and not a military occupation.
A measles outbreak in the South is now larger than the one in West Texas last year.
South Carolina's outbreak began in October. The state has confirmed 789 cases, with 89 of them reported since Friday. 695 of those patients were not vaccinated. The measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine is not recommended until 12 months of age. But Alex Redding says her family's pediatrician suggested her 9-month-old twins get the shot.
And me and my husband were like, immediately yes.
Most of the illnesses are in Spartanburg County in the northwest part of the state. 18 people, including children, have been hospitalized. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Amazon says it's cutting another 16,000 corporate jobs. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
What we know about Amazon is they hired like crazy during the pandemic. And since then, they have been paring a lot of those hires back and diverting their attention to AI and the real future as they see it.
Stocks are popping. The S&P hit a new pre-market high ahead of the opening bell, surpassing 7,000. It comes as traders await a decision from the Fed on interest rates later today. Analysts expect they won't budge. Also coming up, earnings reports from major tech companies. Right now, the S&P is up 20, Dow ahead 6. This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
7:03 now. We check traffic every 10 minutes on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And we're starting the 7 o'clock hour just the way we ended the last one, with a traffic alert in effect for northbound I-5 trying to get from Tacoma up through Federal Way. Even though the crash that we had that was blocking most of the freeway is now off to the right side and only the right lane is blocked, we still have well over an hour to make that 7-mile drive to go from Tacoma up through Federal Way. So at least a 40-minute delay. I probably would maybe hedge against leaving and bailing and going over to eastbound 512 to get around this if you're coming up from JBLM, because it's now backed up really significantly getting into and through South Hill and then down into Puyallup as the alternate. Then Puyallup to Renton is really heavy out of Auburn, and we've got about a 50-minute trip. Federal Way to Seattle's now up to about 48 as people are starting to move through. Renton to Bellevue, not quite a half an hour, though we are starting to see some brake lights up into South Bellevue. Lake bridges are still in very good shape, and then we have the normal stuff coming out of Snohomish County. 50-minute trips from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue. That's plus 20 for either one. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
It's 7:04. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. It's official. Amazon is beginning another round of mass layoffs starting today.
The cuts affect 16,000 roles, a move that will ripple through families and communities that depend on those paychecks.
And KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live with the latest.
Yeah, Charlie, Amazon made that announcement just this morning in a blog post on their website, and we are getting reaction as the news spreads through the tech industry this morning. GeekWire's Todd Bishop tells us this was not a surprise, with Amazon's latest earnings call coming just next week.
There will be a disproportionate impact in the Seattle region. If you look back at the company's layoffs back in October, out of the 14,000, then about 2,300 ended up being in Washington State.
Amazon says these cuts are all about streamlining and focusing on strategic areas. So think AI and perhaps data centers on the AWS side. You know, CEO Andy Jassy has run this company in a way that it's kind of like throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing what sticks.
Trying to make Amazon operate, as Andy Jassy says, as the world's largest startup. That's really what they say they're trying to do here.
So with a model like that, you're going to see cuts from time to time. For instance, Bishop says the company just announced they're getting rid of their biodynamic technology, using your palm to get into buildings and areas. That area of the business could be part of these cuts. Bishop also reminds us, out of the couple of thousand people most likely cut here in Seattle, a lot of those folks have families. They are a part of our communities, and the job market is tough these days.
It has been a very difficult job market for people who are impacted by cuts like this, even people with tons of experience who in the past would have been courting multiple offers. They would have been trying to get poached by recruiters in the past. I mean, it is a different world these days.
Yeah, let's all keep that in mind as we go through the day in this developing story. But to be clear, these are corporate cuts we're talking about, not fulfillment centers like the one in Kent. Of course, this round of layoffs comes after Amazon cut 14,000 positions last October. And yesterday, Amazon announced they are closing all their Amazon Go and Amazon Fresh stores as well. You know, Charlie, Amanda, we are definitely seeing a trend here, layoffs every few months. But a company spokesperson said in this blog, addressing that very issue, that this is not their plan moving forward.
Okay, thank you, Luke. This comes as there are concerns tech layoffs will likely have a ripple effect across Washington State's economy.
I am very nervous about what's happening. I think there's a lot of uncertainty.
That is Joe Wynn, the CEO of the Seattle Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce. He tells KIRO 7 TV the Pacific Northwest still has a lot to offer, including talent and infrastructure in tech and science fields.
We have very good fundamentals and ingredients in this area to be very successful going forward. The part that makes me nervous is that you have to invest in those areas.
But he says partnerships between government and business will be critical going forward.
KIRO News Radio has an exclusive look at the income tax bill lawmakers have been developing behind closed doors. We have obtained a working draft, and it reveals several provisions that haven't been part of the public conversation.
First, the big one, the bill would override Initiative 2111, the voter-approved income tax ban that passed in 2024. Democrats would carve out an exemption for this specific tax rather than send the question back to voters. The draft proposes a 9.9% tax on income above $1 million. That would start on January 1st of 2029. That 3-year delay gives the state time to build collection systems and survive legal challenges that are almost certain to come.
Here's another provision likely to draw scrutiny. Married couples would not each get their own $1 million threshold. Instead, both incomes count toward a single deduction. If you and your spouse each earn $600,000, you'd owe tax on the $200,000 above the limit. To unmarried people earning the same amounts would owe nothing.
Both House and Senate Democrats confirmed this is a real draft of the proposal, but said it's very much a work in progress. It could change significantly. Governor Ferguson's office says it's not their proposal, but didn't explain how theirs differs or dispute any specific provisions. One reason Republicans oppose the bill is the $1 million threshold isn't locked in. Future lawmakers could lower it without a public vote. A lot to unpack, and we have more at mynorthwest.com.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
It is 7:09. It's a Blue Wednesday, January 28th.
Great to have you here.
What will tomorrow be? A Blue Thursday.
Oh, yeah. What will Friday be?
Blue Friday.
What about Saturday?
Every day of the week is blue until the Super Bowl.
So good to have Manda back. I'm Charlie Harger. That is Manda Factor. Sully, you are... You're still watching that situation in the South End right now. Is it like clearing up?
Yeah, a little bit, but then we've just added a stall in the backup for good measure.
No.
That's why we can't have nice things. And so, yeah, it's still brutal getting out of Tacoma.
All right. Well, coming up on this hour of the show, we have former State Attorney General Rob McKenna talking about the latest push from the president to reshape the Federal Reserve. We will talk with Rob about that coming up at 7:15.
And you have a commentary at 7:35.
We're going to talk about that income tax proposal in our state and why it's not sitting well with a lot of people.
It's now 7:10. The Walla Walla sheriff is speaking out about a bill that would give the Washington State Criminal Justice Training Commission authority to investigate and possibly remove police chiefs and sheriffs.
Walla Walla County Sheriff Mark Kreider tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM the bill is unconstitutional.
Voters shall be the ones that determine who governs them.
State Senator John Lovick, the former Snohomish County Sheriff and prime sponsor of the bill, says great leaders lead by example.
They embody the standards of accountability that they expect from their subordinates.
The bill made it out of the Senate Law and Justice Committee and has been referred to Ways and Means. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
King County Council unanimously passed a motion on ICE. In yesterday's symbolic gesture, the council asked Congress to make sure any funding for the Department of Homeland Security has meaningful and significant guardrails. Here's Councilmember Teresa Mosqueda.
The motion calls for an immediate halt to violence from ICE agents deployed into our cities across America and an end to the dangerous surges.
Other local and state governments have brought forward similar resolutions.
A large crowd filled the streets outside the Tacoma Municipal Building yesterday. Hundreds turned out to protest the Northwest ICE Processing Center and to push for Immigration and Customs Enforcement to leave the city. Protesters started gathering around 4 in the afternoon and quickly spilled across Market Street. They carried signs, marched around the block, and chanted together as traffic came to a halt. According to the News Tribune, that rally continued into the evening with a strong vocal turnout, but it was peaceful.
Well, Rick Riz is calling it a career. The longtime voice of the Seattle Mariners says this season will be his last. Rick will remain on the Mariners radio network all year long. It'll be his 41st season as an M's broadcaster, which is the most in team history. He spoke with us at the end of the Mariners playoff run last October.
It's been a great run, and the best thing that ever happened to me was Dave Niehaus. You know, I got here in 1983 as a young broadcaster, and David liked my tape, and it was the greatest thing in the world that happened to me because I got a chance to raise my family here and my grandkids because of David.
Other than a 3-season stint with the Tigers from 92 to 94, Rick has spent his entire MLB broadcasting career with the Mariners.
I'm glad we get one more season.
Yeah.
It's going to be really strange without him around.
And David Burbank, he'll be joining the show on the regular, right? At Seattle's Morning News?
I mean, I'm sure hoping so.
Okay.
Yeah, the Rick Riz Show is a crucial part of Mariners season for us.
David, or else.
Make
no
it
pressure.
so. Make it so. It's 7:12. That's time for a check on the weather. And for that, we turn to KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard.
Good morning. Right now, there is one band of rain left. It is mainly around Seattle, pushing into Snohomish County. It's going to keep moving east-northeast over the next couple of hours, and then it will taper off. And what I think you'll see, between now and, say, midday, there won't be a lot besides just this one band of rain left. And then by about 11 to 12, rain picks back up again. So a bit of a lull now overall. And then we'll see more rain for the afternoon and evening, just kind of showery precipitation and highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s, be a little gusty at times as well. Most of us will feel gusts in the 20 or 25 range. Nothing crazy, but it's just wet weather again. We have wet weather tomorrow, and we have wet weather on Friday. Each day in the 50s, getting a little bit warmer with snow levels rising today from 4,500 feet up to maybe like 6,000 feet and holding it there for a few days. This weekend will be a little drier, but still warm in the upper 50s. I think you see a few showers around Saturday and then dry during the day, Sunday until Sunday evening. But man, snow levels aren't coming down below 6,000 feet anytime soon, and got a chance for rain every day. Although, again, at least it's mild, but that's not good news for snow in the mountains.
All right, Nick, thank you. Right now it's just cloudy in Seattle, then 45.
7:13, time for traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
Still calling for you to avoid northbound I-5 as you work your way from Tacoma up through Federal Way. No, it's a big ask, but we've got an hour drive to go from Tacoma to Federal Way. 7-mile backup. We have a crash up near just before the 320th, right after 18, in the right-hand lane. For a while, that had almost the entire freeway blocked, but the right lane is still blocked there. And then in the backup, about halfway up the 5 Hill, we've got a stall in the center lane. So it's still about an hour to make that trip, at least a 45-minute delay. A lot of people have decided to bail and head over 512 to try to get down to the valley, and it is backed up a lot from Canyon all the way through South Hill and then down through Puyallup. So you plan on at least an extra 10 to 12 minutes trying to go that direction. And then Puyallup to Renton's running right around 50. Renton to Bellevue, a little over a half an hour. Federal Way to Seattle's about 50 now as people are starting to move through. Brake lights there by the Kent Des Moines Road and at the north end. And coming down from the north end, our standard hour and 20-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with an hour of that from Linwood. Plan on at least 20-25 minutes over what it should be. But 3 weeks into this, that's basically become our average. This report brought to you by Simply Seattle. Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoff gear and custom Simply original designs. Shop in store or online and enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, it's 7:15. Thanks for being here today. The U.S. Supreme Court recently heard oral arguments in Trump v. Cook involving the issue of whether the president may remove Lisa Cook as a member of the Board of Governors on the Federal Reserve Board.
Let's bring in former State Attorney General Rob McKenna. Always nice to have you on with us. Rob, can you kind of summarize some of what we'd heard so far?
Well, it's probably useful just to go back to the real fundamentals here. We have three branches of government because the framers of the Constitution wanted a separation of powers to prevent too much power from being concentrated in the executive. And for that matter, we have two chambers of Congress because they didn't want too much power concentrated in Congress. In the 20th century, we began to see new agencies created, some of them as a result of the Great Depression, which created these independent agencies, or agencies more independent than the standard cabinet departments, right? So the main cabinet departments are led by secretaries who are appointed by the president, confirmed by the Senate. But Congress has created about 10 or 11 agencies with more independence. And the leaders of those agencies, the board members of the Federal Trade Commission or the National Labor Relations Board, have been viewed as being somewhat insulated from politics. They can't be removed except for cause because these agencies were viewed to be, important enough. They should have greater independence than a standard, cabinet agency. The Federal Trade Commission is one of those, but so is the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve has been viewed as being particularly important for, that it be an independent. So the main question before the Supreme Court is whether the president can ignore the Federal Reserve Act, which grants Federal Reserve governors a 14-year term and allows presidents to fire them only for cause. So this is a question of legal interpretation. What is for cause under the Federal Reserve Act? And also it's factual. Did Cook, commit acts that, amount to the kind of cause that would allow the president to fire her?
I think your ears might work a little differently than my ears when listening to Supreme Court testimony, Rob. What did you hear as the justices were speaking with attorneys?
I hear a 6-3 or 7-2 ruling in favor of Lisa Cook. What I'm hearing is a lot of discomfort by conservatives like Justice Kavanaugh, Justice Amy Coney Barrett, Chief Justice Roberts, with the idea that on an expedited basis in this shadow docket case coming up on the question of whether the district court, which stayed Cook's removal, should be overturned, whether that's enough for this court to say, oh yeah, President Trump, you can decide what amounts to cause and you can fire this Federal Reserve Board governor, Ms. Cook. So I think it's pretty clear that the court is not going to side with the administration and allow Trump to remove Cook from the Federal Reserve Board while her firing is being litigated.
What would the potential implications be if you, Rob McKenna, are wrong?
Well, the big concerns that are being raised here are about the independence of the Federal Reserve. So let's think about why we have a Federal Reserve Act creating this independent board to make monetary policy. It's because the authors of the act, and presumably the president who signed the act into law, believed it was important to have an independent body just making monetary policy for the United States because it gives the markets confidence in the decision making and just everyday investors confidence in their decision making. That they'll make decisions that could influence interest rates, but also fight inflation based on economics, not based on politics. Now, there have been a lot of presidents who have been unhappy with Federal Reserve, the Federal Reserve Board generally, even the Federal Reserve Chairman. We've never seen anything like what we're seeing now. The Federal Reserve Board Chair, Jerome Powell, and his agency have received grand jury subpoenas. They're being investigated. They're bringing pressure on him and threatening him with criminal prosecution. And Lisa Cook on the Federal Reserve Board is, the subject of an attempted firing because years ago, long before she became a board member, she filed a mortgage application where she listed two different homes as her primary residence instead of one primary, one vacation. So this all occurred well before she became board chair. So if you take these kinds of steps and you get away with it, you eliminate the kind of independence that we've depended on, as a country and as an economy in the Federal Reserve.
When do you anticipate a decision handed down, Rob?
It could happen pretty fast because this came up on the emergency docket. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if we got a result in the next few months. But, if it takes until the end of June, which is when they'll announce all of their decisions for the term, that would be okay in the sense that, board member Cook remains, or Governor Cook remains in her job in the meantime. It also has real implications for Jerome Powell, whose term as chair of the Federal Reserve Board is slated to end in May, but Trump is trying to force him out prematurely. And I think actually the moves that made it look like he was trying to prosecute Powell may have also influenced the court here. It's just a really, really bad look. Looks like a White House takeover of national monetary policy.
Okay, well, hear me out. I have an idea here.
Which always leads to trouble.
Yeah. Remember how in the 80s, CBS late nights, it was before Letterman, they had all those late night soap operas like Silk Stockings?
Oh, my goodness.
Follow me here. Rob, the show is called Shadow Docket. And it's this handsome, dashing former state attorney general, and he is arguing cases and winning hearts. Rob, would you be interested in starring in a show like this?
I would audition for it for certain. I'm sure they could find someone better looking, but I'd be happy to try out for it. Maybe they could call it Dark Shadow Docket.
Okay,
like
all right.
That.
Well, we'll workshop this. Rob McKenna, always great talking to you, and good luck in the Hollywood career.
All right, thank you both. Take care.
Have a great day. I always get a little concerned when you say, I have an idea.
Yeah, hear me out.
All right, it's 7:22. Let's check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes for you, and Chris Sullivan is watching things.
And there's no reason to divert to 512 anymore to try to get around the mess on northbound I-5. You're probably going to waste as much time trying to get around it as you would just sitting in the backup. We have cleared all lanes now on northbound I-5 in Federal Way, just north of 18, where we had an earlier crash that was the result of a State Patrol police pursuit. Brief one, they laid out some spike strips, and then the car hit them and then hit another vehicle. Everything's off to the right shoulder now. Back under an hour now. I know it's still terrible, but we're back to about a 40-minute delay. It extends now from about the Dome up to Fife, and then it starts thinning out the further north you go. And then Federal Way to Seattle's running right around 50 minutes. Now, if you bail and head to 512, you're going to be in a very lengthy backup there that probably isn't worth your while now, from Canyon all the way down into downtown Puyallup, and then extending to the Puyallup River there. Give yourself about 50 minutes from Puyallup up into Renton. Renton to Bellevue is about a half an hour. The lake bridges are still in good shape. And out in the north end, we're already up to an hour and a half now from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Hour and 10 of that away from Linwood. And it's become basically the same pattern that we've gotten used to for the first 3 weeks of the months of hell. So I think we've kind of settled into the pattern that we can expect until June. This report brought to you by me, KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Rain today, a high of 51. Tomorrow we'll hit a high of 52, occasional showers throughout the day. Right now in Seattle, it's 40.
Would you like to feel old?
Yeah.
Silk Stocking stopped airing almost 30 years ago. How did you come up with that?
I've got this stuff just in the recesses
You're
of my
secretly
mind.
watching it on DVD, aren't you? Or
Maybe.
VHS.
Maybe. Yeah, VHS, my Betamax.
All right, it's Seattle's Morning News. What's coming up on the commentary?
We're going to talk about the secret menu at the legislature, which reveals a view of what income tax in our state could look like. 7:24 now. Time for a commercial word here. Let me ask you something. After decades of working, saving, doing everything right, how much of your retirement will really go to taxes? More than you think if you're not careful. Do you really want 30, maybe 40% of what you have saved going to taxes and not to you? If you're thinking there's got to be a better way, I'm here to tell you there is. But it takes planning. The secret strategies wealthy families use to reduce their tax burden, well, they're not secrets. And if you've saved more than $300,000, those strategies could work for you too. The team at Boss Retirement Solutions right here in Seattle is offering a free retirement tax savings analysis. No obligation, just a clear look at how much you could keep. Give the Boss team a call, 206-210-1350. That's 206-210-1350. Boss Retirement Solutions, 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
The John Curley Show.
If you do get tickets and you are lucky to be able to go,
Weekdays 3 to 7.
you have to stand the whole time. We are actually affecting the game. I took Rye to a game last year, and we were really disappointed. The people are sitting the whole time. Rye goes, I'm standing the whole game. I don't get people behind me. Too bad. Too bad. I'm here for the game. Yeah. You know, what are you out there dating your sister?
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube, weekdays 3 to 7, and download the KIRO Newsradio app.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well,
I'll take this one.
what? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. all in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than the tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
For nearly 50 years, over 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance, including me. John Curley here. Save up to $2,000 on a new Lennox heating and cooling system. Schedule your free consultation at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people at Home Comfort Alliance.
Lionel Richie. And Earth, Wind, and Fire. The tour continues. Seattle, you're invited to sing a song all night long. Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Together in one magical night you don't want to miss. Climate Pledge Arena, August 3rd. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from Eastlake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 7:30. Amazon employees bracing to find out if their job is one of the 16,000 roles being cut today.
GeekWire's Todd Bishop tells us this could mean serious ripple effects in Washington's economy.
Yes. It has been a very difficult job market for people who are impacted by cuts like this. Even people with tons of experience who in the past would have been courting multiple offers. They would have been trying to get poached by recruiters in the past. I mean, it is a different world these days.
We'll dive deeper into this with CBS tech contributor Ian Scherr coming up at 7:45.
It is officially unofficial. We now know, according to multiple media outlets, what uniforms the Seahawks will wear in Super Bowl 60 against the Patriots.
Yeah, let's just say revenge is a dish best served ice cold blue. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has the scoop.
Well, those multiple media outlets are now saying, and there are a lot of them out there, that the Seahawks will wear their college navy tops and bottoms in the Super Bowl. The same uniform we wore against the 49ers and Rams in the playoffs. It's the same uniform, though, that we wore in Super Bowl 49 when we lost to the Patriots. So we have photos of those uniforms on my X account. David, I'm looking at you. I did not tell you before I walked in here. I am so sorry. But if we can get it up on the YouTube feed right now, we'll get it up in a second. Oh, Dave's a whiz. He's awesome at this. Because the Patriots are the home team this year, they get to pick their uniforms. They get first picks. It looks like they're going with their all-white uniforms, the same ones they wore against Denver in the AFC Championship, because they are 5-0 in those uniforms this season. For the Hawks, well, they've worn their blue uniforms 100 times since they got those uniforms, and they've won 70 games in those uniforms, including 5 this season. So let me ask you all, what is your? There have been so many cool uniforms the Seahawks have worn. What's your favorite?
I like the white, I think.
Oh, nice.
White?
Okay.
No, there's not even a doubt in my mind. It is the classic 80s, the throwback that we wear now, but that with the
pretty cool.
gray and or white.
Those throwbacks are the best
bottoms.
uniform maybe in all of sports currently. I mean, they are just as clean and pop, and I mean, they have everything that you want.
No one said the rivalry uniform. Is that because they look like too much like the Oregon Ducks?
Yeah, don't even mention.
Yeah. Well, JSN reacted this way when he saw that rivalry uniform for the first time.
Oh my God, that's beautiful right there. Very pretty. Look at that helmet. I'm very, very happy.
The uniform grew on me, but, I agree. I think a lot of 12s love the throwbacks. I actually have a Bobby Wagner throwback jersey that I absolutely love.
The Seattle Seahawks throwbacks are amazing. They're super clean. They're super mean.
What I don't hear you guys saying is, remember the Wolf Gray uniforms? I love those. Those are pretty cool.
I have one of those jerseys.
What about the Action Green?
Action Green.
We're getting there.
I have one. Oh, maybe I'll wear that in.
Like an Action Green?
Yeah. I won it.
You're the one.
It's too bright for how early we come in.
Look, it had its time, and now it's time for it to go away. There's nobody who has a colour combo like that. And it's for a reason, because it looks awful.
Sorry, Charlie. Again, unofficially official or officially unofficial, however we say it, the Hawks are going to wear the all blues in the Super Bowl, according to multiple reports. The Patriots, and they're all white, again, on the YouTube feed. And I've got it up on X as well. Their uniforms look all right. Ours are better. But all right, coming up in the next hour, you probably heard it the 6 o'clock hour if you were listening. I asked a Catholic priest a bunch of questions about are we allowed to pray for the Hawks? Is it a sin? And then I also asked how many rosaries I need to perform in order to ensure a win. We'll have that answer for you coming up in an hour.
All right. It's all on you. Time to check traffic now. Here's Sully.
I know how many Our Fathers I'd give you for that last report if I was taking your confession, but that's okay. Lots of Catholic guilt. 16 years of Catholic school right here, baby. Okay, we're doing better. We've made it through the fray. We've made it through the storm on northbound I-5 from Tacoma to Federal Way. Travel time still plus 20. But it's 40 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way, which is way better than where it was. What started all this was a State Patrol police pursuit, a brief one that came out of the rest area, and they laid some spike strips. That car then hit another vehicle. 2 people were arrested, but that's what we're dealing with. 40 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way. Do not bail and take 512 anymore if you're coming up from, say, JBLM, because you're going to run into just as big of a backup trying to get around this thing there through South Hill. And then Puyallup to Renton's running 50 minutes, half an hour from Renton to Bellevue. We're over 50 now from Federal Way to Seattle. Coming down from the north end, kind of the average that we've gotten used to. Hour and a half from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with an hour and 10 of that away from Linwood, so 30 minutes longer than it should be, but it's become our average. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Mostly showers throughout the day. 51 our high for today. Tomorrow looks like showers early on, but some more steady rain rolls in for the afternoon hours. 52. Friday right on through Sunday. Look for showers at times. Saturday should be pretty dry. Mid-50s through Sunday. Right now in Seattle, cloudy and 45.
Hear it live. Stream it online. Watch the show or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
Time for the 7:35 commentary. Last week, I talked about the frustration of watching billion-dollar tax decisions get made in the final hours of the last legislative session. Behind the scenes, drafts circulated among insiders, but the public was left in the dark. And by the time we saw what was in the bill, it was basically too late to do anything about it. I called last week's commentary the secret menu. Well, this morning, we are publishing the menu. A trusted source got me a working draft of the income tax proposal being developed in Olympia right now. We put the whole thing on mynorthwest.com. The details, the provisions, the fine print, all of it. I'm not here to tell you to support this bill or oppose it. That's your call. But I am here to make sure you know what's happening. And until today, most of what the public knew about this proposal came from press conferences and talking points. Now you can read the actual language. Here's what's in the draft. It's a 9.9% tax on income above $1 million starting in 2029. The first million is exempt. So if you were to earn $1.5 million, you would only pay tax on $500,000. The bill explicitly overrides Initiative 2111, the measure banning state and local income taxes that passed in 2024. We said no to income taxes just 14 months ago. The legislature is saying yes anyway. That is legal to do under Washington law, but it's worth knowing. Married couples share a single $1 million deduction. So 2 unmarried people each earning $600,000, well, they would owe nothing. But a married couple earning the same combined total would owe tax. That is the opposite of how federal taxes work. Visiting professional athletes would owe Washington tax on income earned from games played here. It's called a jock tax. When the Astros come to T-Mobile Park, their players would each owe a piece of their paycheck to Washington State. I'm not saying they deserve it, but I'm not saying that either. The $1 million threshold is set in statute, not the Constitution. A future legislature could lower that amount with a simple majority vote. There would be no ballot measure needed. Here's one for you. The state normally reviews tax policies to make sure they're working as promised. Kind of a, did this actually do what we said it would? Check. Well, the bill exempts itself from that policy. So we're supposed to trust it'll work, but we're not going to verify. Now, here's the part I want to praise. When I reached out to the House, the Senate, and the governor's office for comment, they all got back to me right away. The House and Senate Democrats confirmed the draft was authentic. That's how it should work. I asked questions, they answered. So thank you. We publish this because I believe the public should get the same heads up as lobbyists get. You've got 5 weeks to read it, think about it, call your representative. That's more notice than Olympia usually gives you. I don't know if this bill will pass. I don't know if it'll survive the courts. But I do know that democracy works better when we can see what's happening in broad daylight instead of behind closed doors. You can check the bill out at mynorthwest.com. And that's a commentary for January 28th, 2026. You can text us, 888-973-5476, or leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
It's 7:39. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the slowing northbound on I-5 getting up through Tacoma. Still have some work to do there. We'll break it down next.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10 and 7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder. Now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
7:43 now. We check traffic on the 3s with Chris Sullivan.
And it is still a struggle on northbound I-5 as we try to make our way from Tacoma up to Federal Way. But the travel time is steadily coming down now that we've cleared the crash just north of Highway 18. We're down to about 35 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way, which is about a 15-minute delay. So we're getting there. But now that everyone's kind of through that, the Federal Way to Seattle drive, we're seeing the brake lights here and there like we normally do, but the travel time's close to an hour now to get you into downtown. So close to average, but a little bit slower than what we've gotten to used to lately. Looking at 512 eastbound, definitely not a go-to option for you if you're coming up from JBLM to try to avoid this, because it's bumper to bumper from Canyon on up. And then Puyallup to Renton's about 50 minutes, maybe a little more. Renton to Bellevue now up to 35. The S-curves are active. So is the brake lights. The brakes are right around Factoria up into south end of Bellevue. Coming down from the north end, hour and a half minimum from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with an hour and 10 of that away from Linwood. That's our life with the loss of the express lanes. This report brought to you by Simply Seattle. Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoff gear, custom Simply original designs. Shop in-store or online and enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com.
Our forecast, we're going to see showers at times, 51 the high for today. For tomorrow, the rain will pick up in the afternoon, just scattered showers for the morning hours and 52, and then Friday through Sunday will be into the mid-50s. We'll see showers at times, but some sun breaks too. Right now, it's cloudy and 45 in Seattle.
Thousands of layoffs announced at Amazon this morning. Coming up, we will head to CBS tech contributor Ian Scherr for his analysis. That's on the way on Seattle's Morning News.
Our First Mark Challenge victory is Aaron McCoy from McCoy Home Solutions, yet another small business owner that took the First Mark Insurance Challenge. Aaron, what was the initiative to make that call?
I've got something worth preserving for the sake of the people that I serve and my family. So it's important to me.
What did you learn through the process?
The experience with First Mark has been highly professional, informative individuals that have helped me from personal to professional insurance, life insurance, policies, coverage, cyberspace. Things that I was afraid to approach were pretty easily approachable.
How would you say their customer service has been, Aaron?
Absolutely 10 out of 10. I just couldn't say anything higher about First Mark. They've executed very well on as many levels as I could rate them.
So if you're a small business owner that wants to take the stress of insurance off your plate, do what Aaron McCoy did for McCoy Home Solutions. Make the call to First Mark Insurance. They're your teammate that goes to work for you. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
7:47 now. Tough blow for Amazon employees this morning. Layoffs, and they are significant. 16,000 roles are on the chopping block.
Let's get some more details now. We bring in CBS tech contributor Ian Scherr. Ian, good morning. We're being careful to use the term roles. Do we know exactly how many employees we're talking about?
It's hard to tell. We heard originally from Reuters a couple of days ago when this first started to leak that it was going to be across HR And even the company's AWS unit, which is the people who kind of sell server space to other companies, right? That's part of how Netflix is able to deliver videos to you rather efficiently, how you are all able to watch Stranger Things on midnight during New Year's. But also, it's the division that's very much involved in AI. And so it's really interesting to see Amazon cutting all these jobs. I will also, it's worth noting that in the 12 months that ended in September of last year, the company counted $76 billion with a B dollars in profits. So it's not as if they can't pay these employees.
So when do you think we will know, Ian, how many layoffs we can expect here in the Seattle area?
That's going to be part of the struggle. You know, a lot of the way these companies handle layoffs is criticized, and oftentimes it feels very haphazard and sudden. And so what will likely end up happening is that there are websites and groups devoted to tracking this information, including layoffs.fyi. That's a very popular one in the tech industry. And then also there are local laws in all 50 states have different laws around it, where they basically have to issue notices to the state saying how many people will be laid off. But they don't have to do that immediately. They have a certain time period in which they're allowed to wait. So we may not hear for several weeks, maybe even a couple of months, to know truly what the impact is.
Ian, yesterday we were talking about Amazon shuttering the Amazon Go and Amazon Fresh stores. What does all of this news mean when it comes to the direction of the company?
You know, part of what Amazon is very much well known for is making these big investments and then sometimes cutting them because they're not working. And one of the things I have found is that even though Amazon's Fresh stores are really interesting, and I have shopped at them myself, I've also shopped at Amazon Go stores, they are not at all, at least whenever I'm inside of them, as busy as a Whole Foods, which is also owned by Amazon, or my standard local grocery store on a busy Saturday, or even Trader Joe's. And so I think part of what Amazon has struggled with is not only they have this kind of mandate internally to fail fast and to really kind of stay on top of things, but also that they haven't been able to make this thing catch on the way they had hoped. And that is clearly showing up now in their decision making.
So Amazon leadership saying basically they are cutting a lot of layers of bureaucracy by doing this. I'm paraphrasing, of course. What role do you think AI is playing in this? Is that something that could replace these employees?
It's really hard to say. Part of the reason I say that is we are seeing from other companies a lot of mixed messaging about AI. Probably the best example comes from Salesforce, whose CEO, Mark Benioff, has been a huge proponent of AI. He has talked about endlessly over the last couple of years how AI has represented a vast majority of the new code written for various products. 50% and plus percent of the code written on some of the company's new platforms are written by AI and all this stuff. And even going through layoffs and saying very kind of crudely that he needs less heads because of AI. Well, now he is changing his tune, and in the last few weeks has started to admit.
That's CBS Tech contributor Ian Shira. I was afraid we were about to lose that signal, and indeed we did. Well, thank you for that. It just, it's tough news for one of the major companies and employers here in the Seattle area. I know if you're out there listening right now, we're thinking about you.
Yeah, tech industry layoffs have been coming in repeated waves, not only at Amazon, but Microsoft and Meta, too. All have become, of course, big employers here in the Puget Sound region. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson looked into jobs numbers here in our state.
The State Employment Security Department reports nearly 17,000 more people are unemployed this year versus the same time last, with more than 6,000 fewer jobs in the state.
It's 7:53. We check traffic on the 3s during Seattle's morning news. Here's Sully.
And we're getting really close to being back to normal on northbound I-5 through the Tacoma Core up through 5 to 18, where we had that long-term crash earlier this morning, back down to about 30 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way, which is about a 12-minute delay. So we're much better. No reason to bail and to take the long way like a lot of people have on eastbound 512. Don't need to do that anymore. Now that we are seeing the brake lights move a little bit further to the north, we do have a Federal Way to Seattle drive of about an hour now. Valley Freeway, also about 55 minutes. It's really thick out of Auburn. Actually getting into and through Auburn is not great, so plan on some delays there. Then Renton to Bellevue is about 35 minutes, kind of average. The lake bridges are still good. Coming down from the north end, it's just the daily grind we're getting used to. Hour and 10-minute trips from Linwood. That's 25 minutes slower than it should be, but that's our reality. If you're leaving Everett right now, it's about an hour and a half to either one of those destinations. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, the dry streak has ended. We're going to see showers for today, 51 the high. Pretty much the same tomorrow, although the rain will pick up in the afternoon hours, and 52 Friday, right on through Sunday. The showers are going to continue. Highs will be in the mid-50s. It's 45 in Seattle right now.
Here's what I love about our technology. Sometimes there's a glitch in it, and we start getting the text messages for Seattle sports across the hall.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. So everybody is just so stoked about the Seahawks. It looks like they must have Tom Brady on right now.
Yeah, they do.
They're asking all sorts of questions for Brady.
Someone wrote on the text line that we should re-sign Marshawn Lynch for just a day and give him the ball.
During the Super Bowl.
Did you see the pictures of him riding the line bike to the game?
I saw that. No, I don't think that'll happen. I'm no sports ball expert. But
by the way, most of the texts tell everybody how bad Salk is.
Yeah,
They're complaining about him. That's what they do.
That man is a saint. They shouldn't say that.
All right.
Coming up on this show, Seattle's Morning News, Luke Ducey will talk more about the local Amazon layoffs, and we'll have our legislative update from Jerry Cornfield at the Washington State Standard at 8:15.
If you have something to say, you can text the show, too, on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. It's 888-973-5476.
This is KIRO News Radio.
The G and Ursula Show.
We going to the Super Bowl.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
I have been told about Woodstock and how it was just peace, love, and hair grease. That was the energy amongst Seahawk fans everywhere.
People were doubting Sam Darnold. He had the game of his lifetime.
The game of his life. He won 14 games with the Minnesota Vikings last season, and he won 14 games with the Seahawks this season.
Subscribe to the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel and watch live. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show, the Big Seattle Boat Show.
The Big Seattle Boat Show starts this Friday. It's the best time to buy with big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle. Make it a date Friday evenings with Boat Show After Dark, featuring unforgettable ambiance, music, food, beer, and wine. Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Big tax changes this year could mean a bigger refund, and Jackson Hewitt knows how to get you your biggest. You'll get $100 just to try us. That won't make you filthy rich, but definitely gas plus groceries rich. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back, which would make you low-key loaded. Or at least wealthy adjacent? Go with our trusted pros and get $100 to switch. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call Tila Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Clogged gutters? Not anymore. K-Guard by Guardian keeps leaves out, water flowing, and your home protected year-round. No maintenance, no rust, just lasting peace of mind. Guardian Roofing, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit guardianroofing.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Cammie McCormick. President Trump is warning Iran again. Reporter Eleanor Watson has the latest.
President Trump today said a, quote, massive armada led by the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier is heading to Iran, in a warning to the regime that any future U.S. attack would be larger than last summer's bombing of Iran's nuclear facilities. President Trump has for weeks threatened striking Iran for the regime's deadly response to massive protests, but his message this morning shifted to pressuring Iran to come to a deal on not pursuing nuclear weapons. He said the flotilla is larger than the one sent to Venezuela.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is testifying before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee this morning about Venezuela. He said he expects a U.S. diplomatic presence to return there soon, following the U.S. attack that toppled Nicolas Maduro.
We want to reach a phase of transition where we are left with a friendly, stable, prosperous Venezuela, and democratic, in which all elements of society are represented in free and fair elections.
Residents of Minneapolis are waiting for the Trump administration to de-escalate immigration operations, but President Trump this morning blasted the city's mayor again, accusing him of playing with fire. And as tensions remain heightened, authorities are still investigating the liquid a man sprayed yesterday at Representative Ilhan Omar. CBS News correspondent Matt Gutman has more.
Police say that Representative Omar was uninjured, but that they are still investigating that foul-smelling substance that was squirted on her. That suspect, a 55-year-old, is still in county lockup. He faces a single charge for third-degree assault, but has not had his first appearance in court yet.
Amazon is cutting 16,000 jobs, and it's not the only major employer to do so. CBS's Jill Schlesinger.
UPS is cutting 30,000 jobs, and these jobs are really directly linked to the fact that UPS and Amazon have done business together for a while, and now that is shifting.
In Israel, the funeral for the final hostage returned from Gaza. Gwen Warner declared October 7th is ending today. Sarah Mullally has been confirmed as the Archbishop of Canterbury, the first woman to lead the Church of England.
I respectfully ask that this court shall witness the formal consent of the Archbishop-elect.
You may proceed.
Mullally is a cancer nurse turned cleric. The Church of England ordained its first female priest back in 1994. On Wall Street, ahead of the Fed's decision on interest rates, stocks are flat. This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to CBS Mornings on the go on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's 8:03, and we check traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And we have settled into our new normal on southbound 5 and 405 coming down from the north end. Hour and a half drives is what we can expect going forward through the Revive I-5 work. I think after a couple of weeks of this, I think I've got a pretty good handle on where people are going. Southbound 405 from Linwood down through Bothell is really heavy. I-5 doesn't get slow until you get to about 175th, and then it's bumper to bumper the rest of the way down. So hour and 10-minute trips from Linwood to Seattle or Bellevue, that's our standard, which will be basically 25 to 30 minutes slower than what we had when we had the express lanes open. Now to come the other way, from Tacoma to Federal Way, back down to about 25 minutes. So really not much significant impact from that earlier crash anymore. But then Federal Way to Seattle's running an hour, kind of close to what its old average used to be, but a little bit behind schedule from what we've seen with the express lanes open northbound. The Puyallup to Renton Drive, still about an hour, maybe a little under. Renton to Bellevue's about 38 minutes. Across the lake, we're still good. And it looks like we're still working with a crash in Gig Harbor on eastbound 16, right near Wallajit there. Not sure which lane, but I'm checking into it. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
8:04 on the Wednesday, January 28th, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
And our top story this morning, Amazon is cutting 16,000 roles starting today.
And for thousands of workers and their families, that means sudden uncertainty. And for local communities, it could mean real economic fallout.
We get more live now from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, Amanda, Amazon made this announcement just this morning in a blog post, and we're getting reaction as the news spreads through the tech industry this morning. GeekWire's Todd Bishop tells us this was not a surprise round of cuts, especially with Amazon's latest earnings call coming just next week.
This was kind of the worst kept secret in tech over the past week or so, especially.
He also thinks we'll see a couple of thousand people impacted right here in the Seattle area in this latest round. Let's not forget, these are folks with families. They are part of our communities, and the job market is really tough these days.
It has been a very difficult job market for people who are impacted by cuts like this, even people with tons of experience who in the past would have been courting multiple offers. They would have been trying to get poached by recruiters in the past. I mean, it is a different world these days.
So in their blog, Amazon says these cuts are all about streamlining and focusing on strategic areas. Bishop tells us they're also part of CEO Andy Jassy's bigger plan to cut areas where they are manager heavy. Jassy has always wanted to run the company in a way that's like throwing wet noodles against the wall and seeing what technology sticks.
Trying to make Amazon operate, as Andy Jassy says, as the world's largest startup. That's really what they say they're trying to do here.
And that means some ideas are going to work and some are not. So today's cuts are on the corporate side. Let's make that clear. Not fulfillment centers like the one in Kent. Of course, Charlie and Amanda, this latest round comes after Amazon cut some 14,000 positions last October. And yesterday, Amazon announced they are closing all of their Amazon Go and Amazon Fresh stores as well.
Luke, thank you. We have an exclusive first look at legislation that has been crafted largely out of public view. KIRO News Radio has obtained a working draft of the income tax on high earners being developed in Olympia. Here's what it shows. A 9.9% tax on income above $1 million, with collections starting in 2029.
There is a provision in there, though, that hasn't been discussed publicly. The draft would explicitly override Initiative 2111, the income tax ban voters passed just 2 years ago. Washington voters have rejected income taxes 11 times since 1932. This time, lawmakers are not asking voters.
The bill also treats married couples differently than the federal tax code. Instead of each spouse getting their own $1 million threshold, they'd share one. So if you and your spouse each earn over $500,000, that combined income above $1 million gets taxed. Two unmarried people living together earning the same amounts would owe nothing.
And sports fans, take note. The draft goes into great detail on how to tax visiting professional athletes when they play games in Seattle. An MLB player earning $10 million a year could owe around $18,000 for a single 3-game series at T-Mobile Park. We reached out to legislative leaders in the governor's office. House Majority Leader Joe Fitzgibbon and Senate Democrats confirmed the draft is authentic, But they say it's a work in progress that could change significantly. Governor Ferguson's office says this is not the governor's proposal, but wouldn't elaborate or dispute any specific provisions.
And Republicans point out the threshold is just a statute, not a constitutional protection. So a future legislature could drop it lower than $1 million to reach more taxpayers. There's a lot more to the story. We have posted a full breakdown on mynorthwest.com.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
I can tell Nick is a little tired this morning, but you are bringing the fire with the music, Nick, so we appreciate that.
Hanging in there with Sully's beloved gift that he gave everybody.
Sully!
What?
Look,
thanks,
my voice
David.
sounds great. It
Yeah.
has for 2 weeks. Right?
I'm sorry you had to go through that, Nick.
When Sully turns his mic off, it's truly disgusting, the sound that comes out of his mouth.
Yeah, it is. Just as long as the mic is off, that's fine.
Yeah, we appreciate that. The crud is going around.
Yes, it is.
The
You're
double
next.
crud. Yeah, no, I'm fine. Don't jinx me, Manda. This is Seattle's Morning News. I hope you are staying healthy right now wherever you are. We have a return of the rain. Those are slick roads this morning, too, and temperatures are starting to go up, though. That'll be nice.
Yep. And coming up this hour of the show, we're going to get our legislative update from Jerry Cornfield at the Washington State Standard.
We're also going to talk with G. Scott about the latest wave of these Amazon layoffs.
It's 8:09. Mary Bridge Children's Hospital in Tacoma plans to close its gender clinic this week. Hospital leaders told employees in a memo new federal pressure could cut off Medicaid and Medicare payments if the clinic keeps serving trans youth. They say losing those payments would threaten the entire multi-care system, which runs Mary Bridge. More than 60% of Mary Bridge patients rely on Medicaid. According to the Seattle Times, the memo calls the decision painful and says leaders know the impact on families.
What would you think of having a 32-hour work week? The idea was on the table in Olympia yesterday. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch tells us it might sound like a good idea, but is it really?
State Democratic Representative Sean Scott sponsored legislation to move Washington to a 32-hour work week. Scott says Americans work hundreds of hours more than their counterparts in Canada, Japan, the UK, and Germany. Ashley Fuston with the Washington Federation of State Employees supports the proposal and points to San Juan County, which instituted a 32-hour work week in 2023.
Not only did it save the county $2 million, but it resulted in significant employee morale boosts.
Opponents fear workers will earn less because they will get paid at the same rate, but for fewer hours. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The city of Issaquah is going all in on the Seahawks trip to the Super Bowl. Mayor Mark Mullet just signed a proclamation renaming the city.
Issaquah is now 12-Issaquah. As a 20-year Seattle Seahawks season ticket holder, this is a special moment for me.
12-Issaquah from now through the big game. Mayor Mullet says the city has more Super Bowl-inspired surprises on the way.
Had someone text in saying it should be 12-Everett instead of Everett. TBD on that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is something, bittersweet for us. It is now to be the last season for the legendary radio voice of the Mariners.
There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
Rick Riz is going to retire at the end of this season. He has spent 40 years on live baseball play-by-play, originally hired by the Mariners back in 1983. That is more than 40 years ago. He paired with Hall of Fame broadcaster Dave Niehaus back then. Rick did take a brief hiatus to announce for Detroit. He returned in 1995, and he has been a fixture for Seattle baseball fans ever since.
Yeah, Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer is stunned, saying, "Holy smokes, say it isn't so," after hearing Rick's retiring. She spoke about Riz on the Jake and Spike Show.
He's like family to all of us in the booth, and we absolutely love him.
She says it's hard to imagine summer nights without his "Hi, everybody," his stories, and the way he paints every pitch.
For sure. Going to miss that guy, but we're going to try to get him on soon, too, here on Seattle's Morning News. Okay, it is 8:12. Let's get a check on weather. It's brought to us by KIRO 7's Nick Allard.
Have some pockets of showers this morning, not many. We'll see rain pick up, though, especially by about late morning to midday. So it's really just some spotty stuff now. It's mild in the 40s, and we'll get to the upper 40s and lower 50s this afternoon with scattered showers here and there. Pretty much after about lunchtime, it's pretty widespread. and then it tapers to showers later today. Be a little blustery at times as well. It's more widespread rain tomorrow and the day after. We just kind of keep this going for a few days with mild conditions, high snow levels. And on Saturday, I think I only see a few showers with some drier conditions again until Sunday night. But this weekend, highs will be in the mid to upper 50s.
Right now in Seattle, it's warmed up to 42.
It's 8:13. That's time for traffic every 10 minutes on the threes. Take it away, Chris Sullivan.
And we are dealing with a relatively average Wednesday out there. The travel times are about what they should be. Northbound from Tacoma up to Federal Way, still running a little tardy, about 10 minutes behind at 25 minutes. So that's going to happen when we have a long-term crash like we did, still over on the right shoulder north of 18. Then once you get through that, Federal Way to Seattle's just under an hour. The heaviest spot left after that is from the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. The Puyallup to Renton Drive, maybe a little under an hour. We have brake lights getting into and out of Auburn from about 15th southwest to 15th northwest, and then Renton to Bellevue's 35. Coming down from the north end, a nice drive from Arlington all the way down until you get to Linwood for 405. And for I-5, it's down to about 175th. Problem is, it's still an hour and 10-minute trip from Linwood to Seattle or Bellevue, which is 25 minutes slower than we should be getting, but that's our life without the express lanes open during the morning commute. Lake bridges are still fine, and we're still working with this crash over on the left shoulder in Gig Harbor, right around Willogit. It's in the left-hand shoulder now, but we're backed up pretty significantly getting down from Purdy through the scene. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
We continue to churn through all the truncated 60-day legislative session down in Olympia. Lawmakers are making their pushes for all sorts of bills. Let's get the latest update with Jerry Cornfield with the Washington State Standard.
Jerry, good morning. Lots to cover here. We want to start, though, with a bit of a curveball, Charlie.
Yeah, we got a hold of the draft of the income tax proposal in the state legislature. We've been talking about it this morning. We know you've seen it too, Jerry. So what are your impressions of this income tax proposal?
I won't be paying. That's what I figured out after going through all those sections. But, it's really comprehensive. And as you noted, you covered just some sections that are still blank, like the intent. There's this other section that you flagged that, the legislature approved the initiative, a no new taxes initiative that the citizens gathered signatures for a couple years ago. And they figured out a way to write some language in to work around that. So, there's going to be plenty of pieces to debate when it comes out. There's discussions that it could come out, a bill get filed by the end of this week. So we will see exactly how many of those sections stay in the bill and how many more are added. It's just one of those things that's sucking up a lot of attention or oxygen in the hallways. People are wondering, but it is not going to provide any financial relief to the budget discussions that are happening now. In fact, it won't happen. Even if it became law and wasn't challenged and overturned, it won't bring in any money in this term of the governor's. So it's an interesting, so see.
From what you've seen so far, are there parts of it you think could fly?
Oh, I think most of the bill, given the majority of Democrats in the Senate are really pushing it, the governor wants it. I suspect most of the sections are there. There's probably word wrinkles that need to be ironed out. I think one of the what I'll be watching is the House. If I had to analyze the politics at this stage, I think the House Democrats are feeling like, look, the Senate is really all over this. They're pushing it. They're driving the process. House Democrats have not, as a caucus, discussed it in depth. They are on the ballot this year. They need to be able to explain it to their voters and the people, and justify their vote. So the politics, it may be a little tougher to get through in the end, given that there's a lot more folks in the House. They need more time. And if they don't get enough time to debate it, sometimes that's enough to just a bill can lapse.
Jerry, I'd like to maybe give listeners a look behind the scenes, because when we do stories like this, one of the responsible things to do is to reach out to the spokespeople, to the lawmakers, asking them, okay, I've seen this piece of legislation. It's not public yet. Is this real? And so I did that yesterday thinking that I would get no response, right? Well, lawmakers in the House and Senate very quickly got back to me saying, yes, this is the actual draft. You are looking at it. It's still a work in progress. A lot of edits could be made. But then also, when I reached out to the governor's office, they said, no, this isn't the governor's proposal. What do you make of
the
that?
governor hasn't put anything in writing.
Yeah.
To be clear, the governor has said what he wants, but he has not. He's probably has staff in the room, but he has not written a proposal. He's not requested a bill in writing, as they often do. So and it gives him a buffer, right?
Yeah.
If what is produced and what is passed doesn't pass muster with him, we'll hear about it. But I think a good example is last year, he wanted $100 million in grant funding to hire more law enforcement. He made a big deal. But by the end, the bill they passed and signed has enough language in it that theoretically all that money could be spent and no law enforcement officers hired. So it's there to be achieved, but doesn't have to be. And so the income tax may be one of those things where he may not agree with every section, but he'll be able to sign it if it reaches his desk.
So the big story today in Olympia, it sounds like we're going to get a vote on face masks and law enforcement agents not being allowed to wear them. What do we know about this?
Well, the state Senate is scheduled to vote, and it's going to be one of those moments on the floor of the Senate and one of the moments in the session that folks will be talking about this week and maybe throughout the session. I mean, if there are two things going on, one you touched on already, this income tax, and then the other issue is the Democrats in this House and Senate and the governor are really focused on the other Washington and what's happening there. There's a lot of anger, frustration, a desire to send message and take action to sort of wall off this state from some of what's happening in other parts of the country. This is one of those bills. It's unclear if it's legal. California passed a law. It's now being challenged in court. They understand that, but it's unclear. At this moment, ICE is not planning any surge of immigration crackdown, but they could change at any moment. And for Republicans, it's very difficult. They haven't been able to sort of step up and sort of just denounce what they've seen and heard. Clearly, they don't like what's happened in Minnesota, but on the other hand, they really want to focus this session on what happened last session, right? They haven't been able to get their agenda out, which is the Democrats passed billions of dollars in new taxes, and it's affected the cost of living for residents in the state, but they haven't really been able to get any traction on that conversation.
Jerry, another big one today in the Senate is we're looking for a vote on the bill to lower the legal blood alcohol content in the state from 0.08 to 0.05. What do you expect to happen with this today?
Well, if it comes up, I think it'll pass. I'm not sure how one-sided the vote will be or if it'll be split. I don't think it's a partisan decision. It's a very personal decision for lawmakers. They have been talking about it in the Senate for a couple of years now, but not brought it to the floor. So this will be a significant step. And then the House has a bill that's in the Transportation Committee. And I think that this will be a signal. If the Senate's willing, then the House can decide if they're ready to go forward. I think if I recall, only Utah may be the state with this level, the lower level. So Washington would be on the front end of joining the second state. And, traffic fatalities related to DUI, folks driving drunk, spiked a couple of years ago. They're still way up above the historic average. So there really is a desire they see this as a move to improve safety on roads.
We have the new Democratic Socialist Representative Sean Scott. He's got a knack for making headlines in Olympia. I'm not sure what kind of constituency he has yet, but he has this new bill out about a 32-hour work week. What are you hearing about that behind the scenes?
I'm not really hearing that it has the kind of that it would make it to the finish line. But if I believe one county, San Juan County, already has that shorter work week. It's not an unusual concept to have a shorter work week for folks. It's businesses have often had sometimes one-day closures. The move to allowing folks to work remotely has allowed for a little more freedom in the workforce. So I think the concept is one he wants to start talking about. And listen, he's pushing the envelope on a number of ideas, and there hasn't been a lawmaker kind of pushing the envelope and getting the attention for it on the Democrat side in a little while. He does help the caucus by providing them some cover on issues that they do want to talk about, but they're just a little concerned about going out front. And he's very smart. You do not underestimate his knowledge of when he's doing. He can see what's happening in front of him, and I think he has a long-term vision.
Interesting guy to watch over the coming years. Jerry Cornfield, Washington State Standard. Jerry, thanks for your time this morning.
Good to talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. It's 8:23. We need to check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes, and here is Sully.
Yeah, I'm going to start across the water, actually, because this crash we've been dealing with in Gig Harbor on eastbound 16, they've now blocked the left lane for the emergency response. And so we have a 5-mile backup that extends all the way from Purdy. So we have about a 20-minute delay getting through the area. The crash is right there near Wallajit. And then after that, it's not too bad the rest of the way. We might have another issue, which would be our third of the morning on northbound I-5 up the 5 Hill. Haven't been able to find it yet, but it's gone all red again, and we pushed back up to 30 minutes from Tacoma into Federal Way. Federal Way to Seattle still running about an hour. The Valley Freeway really heavy through Pacific and Algona up past Emerald Downs. So it's an hour drive from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is about 40 now as the brake lights extend up past the VMAC and then a little bit more into South Bellevue. Across the lake, we're doing okay, though 520 is a little slow trying to get over to I-5. Coming down from the north end, our standard drive now, hour and a half from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with an hour and 10 of that just away from Linwood. This report brought to you by Simply Seattle. Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoff gear and custom Simply original designs. Shop in-store or online. Enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com.
We're expecting to have clouds today, occasional showers, a high of 51. Tomorrow, 51 with showers as well. It's 44 in Seattle right now.
And coming up, Luke Ducey will have a look ahead at the Super Bowl.
It's 8:24. Commercial word here. Let me get this straight. You work hard your whole life. I mean, decades, early mornings, long hours, a whole thing. You save, you sacrifice. You finally get to retirement. And the government wants what? 30, 40% in taxes? I'm sorry, I must have missed a meeting where we all agreed this was fair. Well, here's some good news. You don't have to just accept it. The tax strategies that wealthy families use, well, if you've saved more than $300,000, those strategies are available to you, too. Boss Retirement Solutions right here in Seattle is offering a free retirement tax savings analysis. No obligation, just an honest look at what you could be keeping in your pocket. Got more than $300,000 saved? Call them, 206-210-1350. Boss Retirement Solutions, 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
We are going to the Super Bowl.
It's time to eat, boys. Super Bowl, here we come.
Can you believe it?
We're just a really good football team that's tough and connected.
Welcome to the dark side.
Power of 12 is 1 is real.
Whole city going up like it's our time.
All the 12s across the country and all the 12s across the globe.
You know how we do it. The only place to hear Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO Newsradio.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about football. It's exciting when Seattle fans shake the earth. You can even feel that energy on your 100-inch variable refresh QLED surround sound 7.1. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know that enjoying the game often involves alcohol. And the police know it too. Have fun, be responsible on game day, and pace yourself. If you feel sacked in the fourth quarter, get a designated driver to take you to your end zone. If you get carried away with too many Bloody Marys after too many Hail Marys, call for a timeout. You get the point. Be safe. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Watching the game in your blue and green jersey is a lot more fun than wearing an orange jumpsuit.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
When it comes to Subarus, Carter Subaru stands alone, literally. They're Seattle's only Subaru dealership with more than 700 Subarus ready to go. Looking for a Crosstrek? The 2025 Crosstrek is just 1.9% financing for 72 months. That's serious value on a great vehicle built for the Northwest. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 1/31/26.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 8:30. Well, say a prayer and sprinkle the holy water. The Seahawks are Super Bowl bound.
I better not get zapped by lightning for reading this lead here. Seattle punched its ticket with a 31-27 win over the Rams Sunday night. However, instead of waiting to find out the Seahawks' fate, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey talked with a priest.
Don't worry, Charlie. I'm a fellow Catholic. We're going down together. All right. When it comes to the Seahawks, folks, between now and kickoff, we are going to have a news story for you every day. And I promise you, you're not going to hear any story like the ones we tell you anywhere else. This morning, folks, we're going to church.
Take me to church. I worship like a dog in the shrine of your life.
So you've heard about the Pope-Seahawks theory. Every year a Pope is elected, the Seahawks have gone to the Super Bowl. Happened in 2005 with Pope Benedict. Pope Francis was elected in 2013, and we won the Super Bowl that year. And now, this year, Pope Leo, the first American Pope. Well, I recently asked Father Brian DeLessie, who is a pastor in Renton, to help all of us. Please, Father, does he have any insight into which team God likes more?
In the end, I'm sorry to say, only God knows.
So, no. I also asked him if there are any references to a Seahawk in the Bible. Maybe we could all read that passage over and over.
On eagle's wings, I guess, would be the one piece, because that comes from one of the Psalms, but not directly connected to the Super Bowl that I can think of, as sad as that is.
All right, so we didn't quit here, though. I asked him next if I could perform a rosary and how many it might take to help the Hawks win.
I don't know if I'd quantify it. However,
12?
I always think of the...
What about 12?
I always think of like Notre Dame football, right? That before they go out, they always say like, Our Lady of Victory, pray for us. But what about the poor Patriot fan that's on the other side? And they're there and they're praying, oh, God, help us, the Patriots. So it is. But yes, you definitely can offer some prayers. That's fine.
And in the end, Father DeLessi, I love his laugh. He is a great interview. He's infectious. He tells me, you know what? It's up to the players.
So I will leave you with this thought. Grace perfects nature. So if they've trained well, they practice well, and they do the best they can, we'll see where the Holy Spirit goes.
All right, as long as it's in the end zone several times, that's fine.
We'll be hoping so, man.
All right. There you have it. Father DeLessi, he was so nice to play along.
What a hoot.
He is. He says he kicks off his sermon sometimes with a "Go Hawks," and everyone goes crazy. He doesn't expect as many folks will be in the pews, however, on Super Bowl Sunday.
Congrats on your conversion.
Yeah. I should let my wife know. She'll be the most surprised out of any of us.
I thought you were. I thought that's what you were referencing.
8:33. Time for
Non-Catholic.
traffic every 10 minutes on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
Well, that just means much less singing for you, Charlie. Because most of, as you should know, Catholics love to sing like this.
Yeah. Oh, no, we do that in the Lutheran Church. Yeah, just pretend we
know
can
the
carry
words
tune.
And you just kind of go,
And then we do traffic.
Well, we never. Well, if you want to know, I'd like to know what the lines are like during communion at Father's Church. If they have side when I could do traffic for communion.
So how is traffic, Sully?
Oh, fine. No fun anymore. Looking at eastbound...
You could sing it.
I could. Well, not with this voice. Looking at eastbound 16, we are still struggling getting into Gig Harbor at Willogit because of an earlier crash. Looks like the left lane, though, has reopened. Still have a sizable backup there. Once you get through it, though, it's a pretty good drive over to Tacoma. And then up to Federal Way is cleaned out nicely. Federal Way to Seattle, still under an hour, but not by much. Valley Freeway, still off and on. Very slow today from Pacific up past Highway 18. I think that's probably just the leftovers from people who were trying to avoid I-5, who ended up on 512, and they're now going up that corridor. So plan on an hour. Puyallup up to Renton to Bellevue, about 40. Lake bridges are fine. Down from the north end, still the hour and 10-minute trips out of Linwood, from Linwood down to Seattle or to Bellevue. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, you're going to see showers at times for today, 51-hour high. Tomorrow looks a little bit grayer and wetter. Rain by afternoon. Showers to start the day in 52. But then Friday through Sunday, nothing too threatening. We'll just see some scattered showers, a few sun breaks here and there, and highs in the mid-50s. Right now it is 45 in Seattle.
8:35.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show. Seattle's morning news on KIRO Newsradio.
And making international headlines today, Amazon has confirmed mass layoffs starting today. Here's KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery.
Reuters was the first to report sweeping layoffs of as many as 16,000 last week, and that's the number being released by Beth Galletti, Senior Vice President of People Experience at Amazon. She says this goes back to decisions last October to, quote, strengthen our organization by reducing layers, increasing ownership, and removing bureaucracy. Galletti says Amazon is in a strong position and still hiring and investing in areas of strategic importance. For those who are being let go, most U.S.-based employees will get 90 days to look for a new job to stay at Amazon. For those who don't get rehired or opt out, they say other support like severance pay and outplacement services are available. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
We've told you lawmakers in Olympia are considering a proposal to move the state from a standard 40-hour work week to a 32-hour work week. Sounds like a good idea for workers, but is it really?
KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Democratic Representative Sean Scott sponsored legislation to move Washington to the shorter work week, and here's why.
Americans work annually 125 more hours yearly than workers in Canada, 204 hours more annually than workers in Japan, 279 more annually than workers in the UK, and 470 hours more annually than people in Germany.
San Juan County moved to the shorter work week in 2023. Scott says it can serve as a model for the rest of the state.
Officials have reported an 18% decrease in sick calls, a 216% increase in people applying for job openings, and an 83% rate of workers who saw improved work-life balance as a result of an 8-hour reduction in the work week.
Ashley Fuston is with the Washington Association of State Employees.
Not only did it save the county $2 million without lowering any pay for the workers, but it resulted in significant employee morale boosts and a 28% reduction in employees leaving.
Most people we spoke with say they would be interested in a shorter work week and more free time with family and friends. But there are also skeptics, like Republican Representative Joel McIntyre.
I'm just wondering why this one-size-fits-all policy. Why do we think this would work for the whole state when we have such a variety of different industries and working personalities?
And then there's the money. With a shorter work week, employers would have to pay overtime above 32 hours rather than 40, and sick and vacation time would be calculated based on the shorter week. All that sounds good, but there is concern workers could take home smaller paychecks. Republican Representative Alex Ibarra.
If you're an hourly employee and you're only working 32 hours, you'll make a lot less money because you're getting paid, let's say, $20 an hour for 40 hours. If this passes, you're going to be working 32 hours for $20 an hour.
Andrea Ray with the Washington Hospitality Association is among a group of business and industry leaders who thinks the shorter week is a bad idea.
We must respectfully oppose the proposal to reduce the standard work week and appreciate employers being able to set their own standards and culture. I know I personally find joy in my long hours and work.
Representative Scott says change is never easy.
The 40-hour week, which we kind of accept more or less as kind of standard, was just as contested when it was implemented 50 or 60 years ago. And so we might be looking back on this time as a time where we took a bold step forward for a happier workforce and a more productive workforce with a 32-hour week.
If the proposal comes up for a vote and passes, it would go into effect January 2028. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
It's 8:39. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to start by taking a look at what's happening over in Gig Harbor, eastbound 16. We'll break it down for you next.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10 and 7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
A lot of businesses are looking ahead for guidance and the right partners in the new year, and the right bank can make a difference, right, Brad?
That's right, Dave. And WaFd Bank can help with business checking, express loans, lines of credit, business credit cards, and so much more. WaFd Bank is also an SBA preferred lender, so you can grow with confidence.
What about when you need help with something? In this digital age, does WaFd have an actual person available?
Absolutely. Our friendly and knowledgeable local business bankers are ready and waiting to help you with whatever your business might need. From day one, our bankers get to know you and your business to build a strong foundation for future success. This especially helps when it's time to apply for loans and to spot gaps in your business operations, so we can recommend the service that would be most helpful.
And to learn more, visit wafedbank.com or visit your local branch. Discover why they were awarded Best Bank multiple years in a row by numerous financial publications. WaFd Bank, built for business. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Loan subject to credit approval. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional.
If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Say goodbye to clogged gutters and climbing ladders. With K-Guard by Guardian, leaves stay out, water flows freely, and your home stays protected year-round. Enjoy true peace of mind, no maintenance and no rust. Choose from a variety of colors to match your home's look and boost your curb appeal. Ready for hassle-free gutters? Protect what matters most with Guardian, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit GuardianRoofing.com to learn more.
8:43, Chris Sullivan has traffic on the 3s.
And we've got about a 15-minute delay on eastbound 16, trying to get from the Purdy area down through Gig Harbor. We had an earlier stall blocking the left lane right near Wallajit. So we still have a pretty sizable backup there to chew through. It'll just take a little bit to get there. Once you get through that, though, it's a pretty clean drive all the rest of the way to Tacoma. And then Tacoma up to Federal Way doesn't look too bad at all. And that Federal Way to Seattle drive is back to about 55 minutes. The heaviest spot there now at the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. Also looks like we might have a crash on eastbound West Seattle Bridge just down from the high rise, so we'll watch for that. We're really heavy up the Valley Freeway. I think what happened is we had a long-term crash right there in Federal Way on I-5, and it got so bad that they only had one lane of the freeway open for a while early this morning. A lot of people went to 512, and now they're going up the Valley Freeway in a pack, and that's why it's so slow from Pacific up through Auburn, and why we still have an hour drive from Puyallup to Renton. And then Renton to Bellevue is about 35 minutes. Lake bridges are still okay. Westbound 520 is heavy getting through Montlake. That's just because you're driving right into the construction zone at the Ship Canal Bridge. As for our drives down from the north end, we're still struggling with about an hour and 10-minute trip from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue, which is 20 to 25 minutes slower than it is when we have the express lanes. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save $600 off windows, $1,500 off doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors, plus enjoy 12 months, same as cash financing. Don't wait to visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Our winter dry streak is over. We're going to see showers at times, 51 the high for today. For tomorrow, showers early on, more steady rain for the afternoon hours and into the low 50s Friday through Sunday. Scattered showers and highs in the mid-50s. Right now in Seattle, it's 45 degrees.
Big layoffs coming to Amazon, and G. Scott has thoughts. He's coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
You know what? Let's throw a party this year for the big game.
Hey, we can invite our friends over, and all take turns yelling at the TV during the game.
But first, we should get a new TV.
Yeah, like one of the top-rated brands, Samsung, LG, or Sony.
Okay, so I'll start shopping on the internet, then head over to the Warehouse Club to compare.
But if that's all we do, we'll be sorry.
Why?
Because the best deals on those top-rated TVs are at Video Only, not online or at the club.
Video Only has better deals?
Yep. We could save up to $500 if we shop smart.
Then we could afford a larger model and really impress our friends.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Well, would you look what time it is? Joining us from the G and Ursula Show and the Reset Podcast, G. Scott is here. Morning, G.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
We're following this story, national, international headlines, another big round of layoffs at Amazon. And I know you had some thoughts.
Yeah, Amazon cutting 16,000. Well, it says corporate jobs, or you can say positions, considering this is the latest wave. And, you know, these cuts obviously come after the 14,000 that were eliminated last fall. These employees who will have about, you know, I'm quite sure 90 days to seek some roles maybe internally. But I guess the bigger portion is this really where we're going to be continuing to head? You're talking about 30,000 jobs or positions at UPS was announced yesterday. 16,000 Amazon, and so we don't know technically how many is going to be from this local area, but we know that the Seattle area relies a lot on the tech world, right? Amazon, Microsoft.
Expedia just announced layoffs too.
And Expedia just did that. So what does this mean? I don't know, but I tell you this. Right after hearing that news, one thing you got to do is listen to Seattle's Morning News every morning, because they get you up to date, and you guys had me fired up this morning because you guys announced this, and then next you talked about the proposal for a 32-hour work week. And to which I said, it's a trap.
That's a really good Admiral Akbar you do.
Right? Man, it's a trap. Like, it would be one thing, and then I heard, I think it was Sean Scott that says, well, you know, work-life balance, and, you know, how 50, 60 years ago, 50, 60 years ago, we were not fighting against AI. If you are sitting here listening right now, and if AI has made your life any easier, if you have used AI in any part of your life, you don't think employers are going to be doing that same thing? So I don't know how much they do or they don't, but I do know that it is kind of scary, especially if you live here locally, seeing all these cuts, seeing all the men and women that will be impacted by this. Because when this happens, even though you might be at your job and you're not laid off, this has an impact on our entire community. And I think the lesson would be this. If you currently have a job right now is the time not to coast. So while you're at your job, you need to be sharpening your skills for whatever that might be, whether it is to continue at that place, or if you do get your walk-in papers in preparation for another place. Either way, if you have a job today, sharpen your skills. Don't coast.
It's always good advice.
Yeah, and it's kind of scary, though, too. I mean, seriously, this morning, listening to you guys talk this morning, I was really, like, in deep thought, like, wow, like, where is this going to be going? I mean, I remember in yesteryear, you remember meeting that someone that maybe they worked at Microsoft or Amazon, and they were telling you, yeah, I work here, I get food, and we sit on bean bags, and they're talking about the atmosphere, they have a gym, and all of these things. It used to be like, oh, wow, you work tech? That was awesome. Now you're like, oh, boy, you work tech? Good luck. And so I don't wish that upon anyone, and I hope that they're is some remedy, and I hope that this slows down. And I hope that every time I don't hear about the elimination of positions, that I don't see the stock portfolio go up. Not saying that there's a connection, but I'm,
Gee, while we have you here, we just have a moment left. I want you to reflect on something. Today is January 28th, 2026. Do you remember where you were 40 years ago this morning? The Space Shuttle Challenger exploded this day 40 years ago.
40 years ago. Yes, I do remember. I remember they had wheeled in the VCR, they wheeled in the TV, and we were all watching live. I was in 4th grade when it happened. Mrs. Lucas, she used to always spank me with this paddle, Susie Q. But anyway, I remember that. And so it had happened, and I was like, oh. And then all I remember, I didn't realize, I thought maybe that was supposed to happen. I still didn't realize that something bad had happened. I only knew something bad happened because the way Mrs. Lucas responded, and she hurried up and she turned the TV off. So I remember that. And then I also remember, this is the next part. This is how we wonder why we need therapy today. We went on about our day like nothing happened. It was like the rest of the school day was like, oh, okay, recess, nothing happened. Boy, I tell you, back in those days, you just like, oh, yeah, okay, it's nothing the other day. But 40 years ago.
40 years.
Do you remember where you were?
Oh, yeah. I was getting ready to get on my bus for school, and my mom walks out because we had just been watching on the Today Show, and I'm always been a news nerd. She goes, something bad just happened. And so all the kids at school were just shocked. We'd been following that story for months. Christian McAuliffe was
Well, that makes sense because I was in school and you were 2 hours behind and I was 2 hours ahead. So I was in class when that happened.
So was I. 10th grade, North Thurston High School in Lacey. We were just glued to the TV. And I will never forget that day.
Sully, where were you?
Algebra 2.
Okay.
In class. Oh, yeah.
Were you paying attention?
Of course.
To math and algebra too.
Oh, yeah, of course. I was a valedictorian, dude.
Were you really?
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
Wait.
Yeah.
Straight A's, baby. 4.0.
You were valedictorian, Sully?
Yeah, of a boys' preparatory school, a Jesuit high school. Heck
there you go. And for the record,
a lot has changed. Clearly.
Right?
Okay.
For the record, our goal is always to get you fired up in the morning, G.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, you should have seen the
Manda.
way they kicked me out yesterday was so impersonal.
Manda.
It was so weird.
My friend, I really wish you could stay, but we have to excuse you now.
Thank you.
Sully is here with traffic.
You could go, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. I think we should probably come up with that. That would be kind of funny. Looking at the drive now, by far the worst is coming down out of the north end. We still just are not relenting as we deal with the slowing away from the Linwood area, primarily from Shoreline down to Seattle on I-5, and from Linwood down through Totem Lake. Hour and 10-minute trips still from Linwood to Seattle or Bellevue. Northbound I-5, Federal Way to Seattle, back under an hour, which is great. Heaviest spot there is from the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. The Auburn to Renton drive, now that a few more customers have continued north, we're back under an hour. Renton to Bellevue is not too bad at 45, and we're definitely seeing things improve over in Gig Harbor, eastbound 16 after an earlier stall. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2.
Scattered showers today, headed for a high of 51. It's 45 in Seattle right now.
12 Sequoia Mayor Mark Mullet joins G and Ursula to talk about renaming the city before the Super Bowl. That's coming up on the G and Ursula Show on KIRO Newsradio.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs!
KIRO Newsradio congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
The modern-day Bambino, Cal Raleigh.
We can't wait. From KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Did you know 25% of your home's heat loss is through your attic? Jake Skorheim here. When hot air rises, if your attic isn't properly insulated, that hot air is going to go right through your ceiling and out your old roof. That sounds cold and expensive. So if your furnace is working overtime, it's time to call Valentine. And right now, Valentine has a great winter special. Bundle attic insulation with any new roof, and you'll save an additional 10% off your entire project. Just call 206 Roofing, and remember, When you see the red Valentine vans, you know your home is in good hands.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC, well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Ewart here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got 3 options. Number 1, sell your home. 2, get a HELOC or refinance. Or 3, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Give your attic an overhaul with new insulation from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation. Stay cool all summer, slash utility bills, and boost your home's air quality. Call now and get $300 off attic ceiling and ventilation, or visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1.